Hello, everybody. It's me, Kismet. Sorry, I'm just a tad late today. Holy mackerel. Did I have the mother of all headaches last night? I don't know where that came from. Holy moly. Oh, that was brutal. It's like having like excruciating pain in your head. Man, I haven't got a headache like that in a really long time, and it activates my vertigo really bad. I could barely stand. I had to literally lay in the bed and just lay there and just like, oh my God, what am I going to do? So luckily though, I took some Advil or ibuprofen, and it was relentless, man. It went on for like 6, 7 hours, just pain and pain and pain. I was like, oh my gosh, even with painkillers, I couldn't get rid of that headache. Eventually, I just like, okay, that's it. I got to find something else to do. I was playing on my iPad, and I said, okay, I'll just distract myself. I'll download a little game or something and just sit there and do something because I could not even stand. It was so bad. It was pretty scary because that's the way it used to be, by the way, when I first started having my vertigo and sleep apnea, is the fact that I couldn't even sit for more than like 30 minutes at the computer, and then I had to lay down. It was very, very scary. So it was like a reenactment of that again. So yeah, I was playing some little games on my iPad. You always see this ad all the time for this one called Gardenscapes, right? Where you go in there and, it's got all the, standard, purchase jewels and stuff and quick things and whatnot. Okay, that's it. I'm finally going to take a look at this game. So I went and took a look at that game. I was fooling around with it. I think it was yesterday I was fooling around with it. And then I thought, okay, well, I'll just fool around with that for a little bit. Hopefully, I'll fall asleep or whatnot. Nope. I was in so much pain I literally could not fall asleep, which is pretty rough. And my doctor always says get up and do something, but I couldn't get up because I was so dizzy and I had such a bad headache. So I took that ibuprofen. I said, wait for it to kick in. I said, okay, I'll try this game a little bit more, right? So I'm playing a little bit more. 152 levels later. I was like, I don't know, I was like in savant mode. I don't know what the heck was going on. But I tell you that I played 152 levels in a row and just kept winning over and over and over and over and over. And I was like in the zone or something. When your brain stops working, apparently you got really good at doing, the little, because all the little like shapes come down and you match the apples and flowers and all of that. My wife plays a lot of those type of games. So I thought I'd play it for a little bit, and I ended up doing 152 levels because I could not sleep. I watched my wife just lay her head down on the pillow and go straight to sleep. I am so jealous of that. I'm so jelly, everybody. I am so jelly of people who can just sleep like a normal person. It is both aggravating, frustrating, and depressing every time. When I'm trying to sleep and then you can't sleep and you get up, you're up, and you can't sleep, you get up. It's the worst, man. But here I am. I did not want to get up this morning. I said, nope, getting up, getting out of the bed. I'm going to get ready. We're going to do some streaming. Let's go, Kismet. Come on, don't be a slacker. Get up, let's make it happen. And here I am. And thanks to my mods. I forgot to mention my mods that there was no mod meeting, but they figured it out. Thank you so much. See, I have terrible medical conditions that go up and down, right? It helps. It really makes it hard to be consistent, to be a consistent human being anymore. It's probably the biggest frustration of my entire life is the fact that I can't just be a normal, reliable person, be there on time and do this on time and whatnot, because I'm physically not reliable. I'm not reliable to carry stuff or to be on time anymore, which is a funny irony because I used to pride myself on that. That used to be my biggest thing. I think it's like a test. It's like it's a willpower test that I've been given to see if I can just will myself into making things happen. And that's pretty much what I do every day, is just will myself into it. And so here we are, here on the stream today. Now this stream's going to be a little bit off the rails, as you can already tell. I'm a bit groggy. I'm a bit like that. But I do appreciate all of you who who come in my stream and hang out here no matter what I'm playing. Today we're going to play some Satisfactory, and then later we're going to I actually have this written down so I can remember. We're going to play some Satisfactory, and then later we're going to play some New World preview. Apparently a new MMO coming onto the scene. Apparently they've already done a few previews, but they sent me a thing to go and check it out, so it will be a little sponsored event here. They sent me a key to go look at it, and I appreciate that greatly. See, some people, they feel like they're, hey, I'm a big time streamer. I'm a partnered streamer on Twitch. Look at how important I am. See, I don't do that. I'm like, hey, if you want me to send me a code, I'll check it out. If you don't want to send me a code, well, then maybe I'll check it out. Maybe I won't. That's the way I am, right? I don't get way into it. So we're going to get started right here. We're going to get it going. We're going to, again, play some Satisfactory, and then we're going to come back about noon, which is in about 2 hours and 45 minutes, or roughly 3 hours from now. Apparently that thing's going to launch. And you know how it is whenever you're launching, there at the launch of an MMO, you were there, and wow, weren't you? You were there in World of Warcraft on launch. That thing was a dumpster fire, bro. It was funny, though, but dumpster fire. There's only been one MMO I've ever seen launch that wasn't a complete dumpster fire on launch. Strangely enough, Star Wars: The Old Republic. Yeah, they rolled people in groups as they went, and then they had it where you can automatically, when you log in, boom, everybody who already signed up on the website to be part of your guild automatically rolled right into your guild. It was super cool. Super cool. Really enjoyed that game. Very fun game. To keep changing the loot rules and pissing off all my members. So when you do that, my members don't want to play. So stop doing that. I keep telling them, stop doing it. They keep doing it, and I don't know what to do. I can't make people stay if you keep making bad choices. If you set up your loot rules, don't be changing it. Don't be changing it. You starting or ending right now? Starting, Samus. We're getting it fired up, man. I feel like I'm ending, though, because I'm already exhausted. I'm just starting. But, in life, everybody, sometimes you got to know when to ease back, and then sometimes you got to know when to push forward, right? Knowing those right times at the right moment is always your best thing. Like, I hate calling off a stream. I actually went 3 weeks. This is my current record. 3 weeks, 7 days a week. Not 12 hours a day, though. 3 hours here and there, and, 5 hours, 6 hours in the morning, and then 3 hours at night. That's a lot for me. For someone with the really bad sleep apnea and really bad vertigo, that is a lot of investment of time. So if you like the stream, consider hitting that follow button already. That's a huge achievement for me. For people who don't have conditions, they don't have medical problems, cherish every moment of your good health. That is for sure. Because I hope nobody. I don't care. The worst evil person in the world. I would not wish this on them at all. Because it is pretty bad. It's pretty bad when you can't be, reliable. You can't just go, hey, everybody, I'll be there at this time, and know that they'll always come through on that. It's pretty rough. Pretty rough. But, in life, if people don't understand, then the best you can do is just explain it to them. And if they don't understand, then there's nothing else I can do. Nothing else I can do except for, look, hey, this is a medical problem that I have. This is what I have to deal with every single day. You can either, be empathetic to that or not. That's the way it goes. All right. Let's see. We're going to get going on. Starting right now. We're starting. Let's see, Ms. Back. New World is apparently using Lumberyard, just like Star Citizen. Oh, cool. Well, we're going to have to check it out. I saw it at TwitchCon. They wanted me to stop by and talk to them or whatever. I did not have enough time while I was there. I was in the middle of so many different... every time I always say to myself, okay, this TwitchCon, I'm just going to go and have a good time and relax and just have fun. And then I always get invited to all of these things. And then before I know it, I am so busy. I'm running all over trying to get to the right place at the right time. Because I'm also getting stopped along the way and I'm talking to people and stuff like that. And I love to do that. I love to talk to people at TwitchCon. It's always fun to meet all of you peeps as well as other streamers and other awesome peeps there. But usually that's what I end up, one side to the other side, to the other side, to this side, to that side. Yeah, it's pretty rough. Pretty rough, but such is the way it goes. I know what I think I feel like doing. That'll take my mind off having such a bad headache yesterday. I played some games. Let's go. Firing up the water, everybody. Let's go. Firing up that water. Tasty good. All right. Where did we leave off last time, everybody? That's always the hardest thing for me to do, is try to pick up where I left off last time. But right now, you can see we got a whole bunch of nodes down here where we've kind of stopped our production right now. And we are revamping the node level right here at the node level. You see I'm putting a bunch of foundations down. Right here is our copper over here. Now we're gearing everything up because we're now in that kind of next stage of the game. I usually get to the first 3 tiers of the game, and then I start to retool, and then I get to that 4th tier, and I've got that level 3 belt. And that's going to allow us to work on a lot of stuff. Now, we really found a nice starter zone here, though it's more of a vertical starter zone. We found a great starter zone that allows us to grab the resources, convert those resources, and then go from there. Now, each and every one of these resources here is something that I need. Like I've got 4 pure iron nodes over there, so pretty epic. Over there, we've got a pure limestone. Now, this is starting zone number 3. So if you're choosing starting zone, it'd be the 3rd one over, which is the more advanced one. And then you have the brand new desert one, right? So you have like the forest, the old desert one, the new kind of vertical starting zone, as I like to call it, and then the new desert one, which is pretty fun. And so we're over here at our copper node, and we're retooling this, and we're going to readjust our whole factory and feed it to the upper part of our base, so we'll have resources to use as we go along. Now, the great thing about these resources is that they are super efficient. See, the more pure nodes that you have, the more efficient your factory is because it's using less power. So instead of having 5 smaller ones that are all feeding in, you have one that is just getting doubled up and doubled up again, and then just is going very, very fast. Now, I've added an MK2, which you can maybe see up there. This is my miner MK2, and that's coming straight out of there. And what we want to do is look at it. It's 240 copper. That is a crazy ton of copper this early in the game. That is a lot of copper, and it's coming from one single node. Now, when we do copper, we can go over here, and we can say, okay, making copper ignition. We need 30 in, and it's going to make 30 out. So same amount in, same amount out. And we'll go, hey, Siri. Hey, Siri. What's 240 divided by 30?
240 divided by 30 is 8.
Is 8. So 8 of these we could have running at the same time. Now, I'm a big fan of building at the node, okay? I don't like to run the copper clear across town and whatnot. Now, I actually don't need to run it very far because my base is actually up here. I have multiple tiered base. I have tier number 1, which is the bottom level here, and you can see I've replaced it with foundations now instead of it being on the ground, which is where it was. And you can see where the ground level is there. And I'm starting to fill all this in with my foundations. And then I also got the number one thing I always think you should have running, your concrete. Always, always, always have that going as best you can. And way over there, I can't reach it from here, but way over there, I've upgraded those to level 2s as well. And this is going to make a crazy ton of all the stuff that we need. Now, in this particular build, I am using a different style of thing. Now, normally I would grab a node, and that node would then go and make steel, or it would go make plates or rods, whatever it is. In this case, this goal of this node is just to make the one thing that it can make, and that is copper ingots. That's all it's ever going to be, this raw resource for right now. Right? I mean, eventually it'll be into something else, but really, the only thing I need to produce from here is copper ingots. And so I'm going to produce 240 copper ingots and then run those into a storage box. And then I can split those up however I see fit into whatever copper production I want to do. And that's how I like to think of my base, is that you got your raw ore, you got your ingot production, and then whatever else you want after that. And so we're going to need 8 of these. Now, that's a pretty good amount of those. And we have a little bit of headroom here. that we can basically build over the top. Now, also what I'm going to be doing is I'm going to be building factories. I feel like I have my sound off or something. Or I just probably have it down. Yeah, I just have it down. I'm also going to be building these into factories. So I kind of need to look at, okay, where's the edge here? Where can I build? Let's go ahead and take these out. Like that. There we go. And we'll say this is the edge of our factory. Now, over here in this box, which I love how it adds the extension to the box, is a whole bunch of resources that I brought to utilize while I'm building. So we'll take all that out eventually. But right now we're going to go ahead and put that in there. And we're going to go ahead and actually make walls and foundations and all that kind of fun stuff. Now, I don't need fancy windows or things like that. I rarely ever do that kind of stuff. I prefer to just start with an industrial strength factory like this. And let's really get into it, everybody. We're going to really do this. Now, do I really need all this room out here? I don't know, maybe. We'll see. But for right now, we're just going to go ahead and start with our outer wall. Now, I'm not a big fan of clipping, but if it's on the edge of something and you can't really see it up there, yeah, see, it's not clipping. Cool. So I don't like anything to clip at all, unless I RP in some reason why it's like that. But you can see how easy it is to build in this game. So this is one of my favorite building games ever. Because it's just so easy to build in it. Look at that. I just built that giant thing right there. Lickety split. I keep going too. Let's get it, make it real tall. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to enclose this so that if I do come down here, I'm not going to be bothered by mobs. Now, I like to have mine up a bit so that mobs are not going to end up in my base. Even smaller mobs and whatnot. So what we can do is go ahead and just make another one of these industrial storages inside the base. There we go. And we'll put some of this concrete away. We'll grab some back. We'll grab this whole thing out of here. There we go. So we're going to be working a bit like this. So we're going to actually build up the walls of the factory while we're actually working on it as well. And then we'll also put in some transport. They all got to be going the same way, everybody. They got that's you know how it is. You're a builder too, I'm sure. You're like, oh no, I can't have just one of them go in the opposite direction. That's not how that works. All right, I think I got to go two more high. Yeah, to hit that right there. All right, so eventually I got to go two more high there. But again, I'm just going to go ahead and wall this in as my copper factory area. And there we go. Now again, very rarely do I take all the extra time to wall in the actual factory itself. I feel like we could hit right there. Let's cut this back. Actually, let's just leave it. We'll leave it there. Now here's a little trick, everybody. Do stuff in sequence. So you do the first three, and then notice the second one flip the other way. Turn it like this, and then once you do that, it will remember what direction you have. So when you're building in sequence, it's much faster to build in sequence than it is to build separately. All right, now that's going in the wall. We can just say, okay, wait a minute, we just cut that out, or we cut a sliver of that out. That's a little RP when it comes to that, but I'm actually going to take those out, and we'll just corner this out over here. So now that gives me a general idea of the space that I'm working with. And also I want to eventually make it where I have the ability to work this. Now I'm actually going to turn this way because that's where I have the most space. If I go the other way, I'm just going to run into the side of the mountain. This way I have basically an infinite, well, not totally infinite, but a very large area I can build out. So we're going to go ahead and take this out, and we'll take this out. We'll move our storage yet again over here. And we'll put some of this in there so we can grab this out without getting the box. And then we got to remember where that was right there. That's the hard part. We got to try to find it. There we go. And we're going to turn it this way just so it's more works efficiently in the space, right? I can always circle it back and whatnot, but I'm going to need 8 smelters. Now, when you're splitting stuff and you're running stuff, it doesn't necessarily all have to be straight, but we're going to go ahead and put this first one, and we're going to do what's known as inline splitting. Why is that not? It's not showing me my line. Okay. I feel like it's right there. Now it's over by 1. Interesting. It's not showing me my green line that typically it'll show you on the ground when you're lining stuff up. Huh. Put a splitter in instead. Yeah, that's weird. And normally it'll show you a green line right off the front of there. So what I do is I use a splitter to line it up when that's not working. There we go. And then after you put your splitter down, then the green line will show up. There we go. Good little workaround. So when it's acting funky like that. Alright. How do I want this to be? Yeah, we're going to probably... Let's move that way up. We got plenty of room. See, I find that people are always building stuff really close to each other for no reason. In this case, this is going to be pretty easy. Okay, so there's 4 of them in a row. And then, oh, I was going to do... Hold on, there's 4 of them. I'm going to do them in groups of... what was this? This is all going to be in line. Yeah, see, normally I do them in groups of 2, so when I'm splitting, but inline, we're going to do what's known as inline merging. So let's see, that was 1, 2, 3, 4. This is 5. Come on, brain, work with me today. 6. Oh, we need some wire. There's always something, everybody. Always something. Now, here's a great little trick. Watch this move. We're going to get a little tricky. Hopefully, we're going to see we have enough resources. We're going to go in and we're going to add a hole in the wall up here. Hypertube hole. Right there. And hope we have enough resources to bring our hypertube down. We have just enough. Okay, wow. Okay. We're lucked out on that one. And let's just hope we have enough for the entrance. Nope, not enough for the entrance, but maybe we can craft some up. Whenever you're working in an area, it's a good idea to have a nice craft bench somewhere around. I don't have enough plates right now. So let's take out a few of these walls. See, I improvise like that. I'll take out walls. I'll take out foundations. I'll do stuff like that. That is going to help me make stuff happen. Here we go. Yeah, we can do a bit of this. There we go. And now we're going to put our entrance in. And we're going to need some power. Let's hope we've got power right here. Nope. That power's not online. Not online. Well, we got power from over here, that's for sure. Let's see if we can tap it from way over there. Let's go ahead and bring our foundations out. Let's do that. Oh, I already got it on me. And let's bring our foundations from here. All right. Actually, I've got it programmed in my keys down here. And once you decide what you want to do, oh, that needs to go down another half level. That's the point in which you're like, okay, I've got it out. Now, notice I'm bringing it down a little bit here. These are all going to feed into a crazy ton of smelters, which is awesome because you're just thinking of it on the smelting level. You're not thinking of anything else beyond that. You're just thinking the smelting level. Yeah, it's going to be the small one, I think it is. Yeah, there we go. There it is. Very nice, very nice. Now, a little bit of a gap there, but you're okay. Okay, for now, let's do it. And so we'll go ahead and add these. Oh, look at me being smart and stuff. I remembered to put my Stream Raiders timer on today. It's time to go to battle, everybody. Let's do it. We're going to actually start on time today. Look at Kismet going today. Massive headache last night. On the ball today. Let's see. Where are we going? We're going to try to get the blue one. Where is the blue chest? We got about 5 more hours of this event, by the way, everybody. We're going to try to we can get more gold going this way, or we could get loyalty tokens. Really want the blue one. I don't know what these loyalty tokens are for, but I kind of feel like we'll give that a shot. Let's go. Come on. Oh, wait. Hold on. We got gold right here. We go gold and go up. Gold, go up. And then up and then over. Yeah, we got a ton of battles in there. All right, let's go. Let's go low side, and then we'll try to hit the gold. So you guys can get some tons of gold. Now I'm going to go ahead and put my buddy Norbert in. He's going to heal the heck out of you. Right there. And help you out. I was going to go ahead and check the store real quick. Now, again, this little side game we play called Stream Raiders. Very, very fun. Nothing that I need in there. And so we'll go ahead and get that going. Come and join us, everybody. StreamCaptain.com. Go ahead and start putting your units down. We're going to get it fired up. All right. Now, once you have it down, you go ahead and just go ahead and put your unit stuff down across this way. Right there. All right. We got that figured out. We got this figured out over here. Very nice. I love building in this game because it's so fluid the way you build, man. It's so awesome how you put down your foundations and all of that. I absolutely love it. We have really a lot of space if we push forward, right? And eventually all of this will come together in such a way that really helps us out. Now, I also like to kind of fill these areas in as well. If I feel like it's a little close to the edge, you know, just kind of fill it in nicely. And we'll put the foundation in. Don't really need that foundation. You're not going to be able to see it. But we'll put it in for now. There we go. So we got a little bit of raising there. And there we go. So we're adjusting our different levels. Now, again, this one over here needs 8 of these. And to make this happen, we're going to need that power. So that's why we're making all these foundations so we can walk over here and grab the power if I can remember this kind of stuff at this point. Yeah. What's up, Dead Horse? Hey, buddy. Thanks again for your help. I know, man. Sky at work, just chilling today. What is this game you're playing today? Oh, Dead Horse. Look out, bro. Look out. Your new fascination probably is what it is. This game is called Satisfactory, and it is phenomenal. It is incredibly, incredibly well done. Now, I'm not sponsored by them in any way, so that's how you know I'm telling you legit that this game is one of my favorite building games of all time. It is incredibly, incredibly good. You know what? I just thought of I could just walk over here and go up this one. I'd go up this one, get some wire. Whoop, up we go. Yeah, so it is incredibly good. This is a factory building game. And you can find it on Steam or on the Epic Game Store. I got mine via the Epic Game Store because it was on there exclusively. And I thought I'd give it a try, and I'm glad I did. Incredibly, incredibly fantastic game. Let's grab some of these plates out of here. There we go. Grab those plates and actually put back this raw ore. Anything else we can get rid of out of there? No, we need wire, and we need all of that. Now, right here, we have some different, what's known as hyper tubes, and we were starting on our conveyors over here. Look at all this fun stuff. We're doing wall conveyors. Really cool stuff, everybody. Really, really cool stuff we'll get into. Where am I going? Up this thing. We're getting into the really cool stuff where we build, like, the belly of the factory, right? The conveyors and everything that's running underneath the factory. And then what it does is it all feeds up to here. Now, we were working around, and I rarely ever use these, but I thought, I'd give it a try and see how it looks and try them out and line them up. And you can see that we've got them in groups of 3. All of our various resources are going to end up right here. And they're going to end up over here. We're going to have our, plates and concrete and whatnot. And my concrete is not even feeding up here right now. It's actually feeding down there. But I'm doubling and tripling and quadrupling all of this. And then when I want to access that resource, I have it right here in this thing right by my actual base. Now on the other side, we're going to build the same thing. We're going to have a bunch of resources there. But all of these resources are actually going to be running down below where we're at, right? Not on the level in which we normally are. Normally what we're building is we're building a horizontal building, which is, you know, when in the very beginning you're building, you know, you get your extractor, then you put your smelter, and then beyond your smelter you build the thing that you're trying to build, right? Your plates or your rods or whatever it is, and then you're building it like that. Well, in this case, we're building very vertically because this is a more advanced area where you build because you're very closed in, but you have a bunch of pure nodes. So pure nodes mean that you're extracting faster for less power, right? So you have your basic coarse node, which is about 30 a minute comes out on your base one. Or you have your normal node, which comes out at 60, or your pure node, which is double that, 120, which is a lot. That's a lot of resources, especially early game. And then you have your multiple pure nodes, which we have just so much in one little spot. We can build really a lot of cool stuff. So that's what we've done. We've kind of built ourselves up now, so we're in the kind of tier 4. Now, when I get to tier 4, and you can see basically what you're doing is you're progressing and unlocking things as you go along. When I get to tier 4, I always retool my factory. And there's two ways that I kind of retool my factory. I'll go in and I'll make wire and I'll make cable, which I have made before. And usually I have it right here, but I actually I just dawned on me, I actually ran the excess into the thing there. I ran it into the thing, so I may not even have any wire or whatnot to do this. So we might have to make our own. Yeah, these are all just screws in there. So I've taken all the excess resources and I've run them into the what's known as the awesome sink. I do have a bit of left over there. What do we got up here, up above? We have nothing. All right, let's take that out. So I'm actually out of wire right now, but I do have some of the base resources so that I could basically make that wire or whatnot, including the copper and so on. And so what I'm trying to do is build back up my factory because I had it all working and had it all going, but it was at a much lesser level than the level in which I want it to be now. Now up here we have a whole bunch of stuff doing a whole bunch of things. And you can see we're bringing up all the coarse ore right here. We're going to actually eliminate all of that and actually get our resources back. Now, this is why I get rid of resources, is because it will become very, very overwhelming, the amount of resources that you'll have. And so we're basically just going to take all this out. No longer necessary to have all of this. And we're going to remake all this anyway, but only better next time. And we did a pretty good job of this. This is a great way to start the game, is to basically have it smelting and have it building one thing like wire and cable and all of that stuff, and then turn right around and use the same thing for making, in this case, copper sheets, right? So it was making rods, or it was making wire, then it was making copper wire, then copper... I hate when my brain stops like that. I have sleep apnea, by the way, everybody. I am partially disabled. Sometimes my brain stops. Wire. So yeah, we create wire and then and cable. Yeah, that's wire. The black stuff is cable. It's hard to remember this stuff. Now look. Now I actually have, it has a bunch of wire laying around, so I can actually utilize that. But I have a bunch of, I have too much materials on me. And this is going to happen quite often whenever you're taking everything out of your stuff, is you'll literally end up with too much stuff on you, right? And then it'll start doing these boxes, which drives me crazy. I can't handle it when those boxes are like that. I got to take those out. And so we're just going to take out all the stuff we did before. Now I could go and remake all of the, make a bunch of wire, make a bunch of cable, but there's no point in it because I know I'm going to be redoing all of this anyway, because I'm basically doubling my production, and I wasn't even producing double. This is basic. This is just level 1, a level 1 tier, not even at full production, which is pretty crazy if you think about it. I was producing a lot of everything right there, just at that base level. But we're going to go ahead and take this out. Now, also what I'm doing intermittently here, I'm holding down the control key. Allows me to take multiple things out at the same time. Oh, here comes some love. The mighty Monster Hauler with that massive 38 months in a row, everybody. 38 months in a row, showing that love. Big friend of the stream. Awesome guy in his own right and awesome streamer. Let's show him some love in the chat, everybody. Come on, I want to see some serious love from Monster Hauler. Good friend of mine. One of my mods for a very long time. Also serves in the military. Thank you, as always, for your military service. Hope you are safe and well, Monsterholic. Thanks for coming in. Thanks for showing the love, man. Come on, I want to see you guys blow it up in the chat in there. Come on now, show them some love in there. That's a lot of love and support right there. I want to see. Wake up a little bit in the chat, everybody. Come on now, throw some hearts in there. Throw some love in the chat for Monsterholic, for sure. For sure, for sure. So yeah. Oh, you know what I forgot to do yesterday? I got them sitting right over there. Your T-shirts, Dovey, and everybody else. I forgot to send your T-shirts out. Yes, sorry, I had such a bad headache. I haven't had a headache like that. I can't even remember when the last time was. It was pretty bad. I mean, I was so dizzy, I could barely stand. I was like, I can't go anywhere. I can't do anything. I'm just going to wait for this. I thought, you know, I'd take the headache medicine and then it would go down, but it never did. It never did. Even when I took the ibuprofen, the headache didn't go away. You know you got a serious headache dead. You know you're like, what the heck is up with this, right? That's when it's hardcore. And very rarely do I ever get headaches like that. You know, the funny thing, a long time ago, I used to have long hair. The ladies liked it, man. I'll tell you, I have random ladies walk up and touch my hair. Pretty weird first, and then, hey, you know, I got a few numbers along the way back in the day before I met my wife. What could I say? But you know, when you have your hair back like that, and you have it tied back all the time, it used to give me headaches from that. And then one time it came up and hit me in the eye while I was driving like 70 miles an hour with my top down, and I nearly died. And then I cut my hair off and never grew it long again. My hair is was like managing straw. It is the worst. I don't even think about it anymore. I'm like, I just comb it so I look like a decent human being, and then I'm just like, forget about it. There we go. Let's say Cubist coming in, showing the love. Dead Horse showing the love. Smooth Operator. There you go. What can I say? That was the fashion back in the day, you know, long hair and a ponytail and all of that. That was back in the day. What can I say? All right, so there we go. So we got a whole bunch of stuff, including some wire that we could use there, and a whole bunch of other random loots that we can go ahead and utilize. And we're going to go ahead and grab a little bit of this, and that's going to allow me to make another storage container over here of this kind of random stuff that I don't really need that much of. I could use a little bit of this cable. I could use this. All of this other stuff I could use. Little bit of wire, get that out of there. But really, all this copper ignits, I can take those copper ignits and make them into something. So we'll take a little bit of that, but not that much. I don't want to completely mess up my entire inventory. Sort that a little bit. Put our extra plates in there. Got way too many plates on me right now. There we go. And then we'll just pick up the rest of this. And there we go. Okay. Now we're off and running. We can go ahead and try to put our hypertube in. Like this. It's always something, everybody. It's always something. I need one more of the thing. One more of the thing to make the thing work. Move this back over here. And one more of these. So we'll make a bunch of extras. There we go. All right. There we go. Hypertube entrance. Now this power right here has been cut off from the rest of it. And we're going to rerun all of our power and all of that stuff. As well, but we're going to go ahead and just run this across, and then what we're going to do is we're going to look at it and see if it's going up and down. If it's going up and down, you know it's being fed by our coal power down there. Now again, all this needs to be redone, but for right now we got a hypertube. All right, awesome, yay! Well, bam! Oh, right in the face. I'm surprised that doesn't kill you coming out of there and get hit right in the head. But this is going to be an inline factory. And what I mean by inline means that I'm just going to run an output here and then run it along the edge. right? And then you can, you know, it's going to start the first one first, and then the second one and third one, and so on. Had that backwards. Let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2. All right, yeah, we need 2 more. And so on. So I need a little bit of wire, so I went and grabbed some wire from up there. I didn't have to make it because I just dismantled that part of the factory, which basically was doing what this was doing. But if you noticed up there, there was only a couple forges. Did you notice that? That there was only a couple of them, and now I have basically 8 times the production I had originally, right? So I had 1 to start with, or I think I actually had 2 to start with, right? Because, yeah, 60. Because you only start with a 60 belt, so that's you can only start. So I had 2 to start, now I have 8. So yeah, we're gonna really gear it up. So first thing we're gonna do is we're gonna work with our splitters and all of that stuff. So we're gonna go ahead and I'm gonna change my bar down here, but normally I would go in logistics, go down here, mergers and splitters. I don't know why splitters not first, because splitter is typically the #1 thing that you're using versus merger. But that's just me and my crazy ideas. So we're going to go ahead and run it in here. Now, we got a bit of a problem because this is going to come straight out of here into the splitter and then go in there. So I'd actually take this first one out and I'd push it forward. And eventually we're going to take all of this and feed it up to the next production level. So we're going to push this forward just by a little bit. And what that's going to allow us to do is to come out here and then turn and then run along the back of it. Like that, and I call that inline. Normally, I like to do this. I like to do a double split, so I'm in the middle of 2 of them, or a triple split would be like this, right? Or a 3-way split or a 2-way split, like that, right? That's how I normally like to do it. But when you get into the more advanced building, inline running is actually more efficient when it comes to resources and all of that stuff down the line. So you're going to see that I'm watching this part here, which is running it forward. Now, another thing we can do is to go in and lift everything up off the ground so we can get to it. But this is just going to do this particular thing. So it's actually better to not do that in this case. There are some instances in which it's better not to lift it up off the ground and do that, because this is literally going to do just this one thing. It's just going to convert it into an insane amount of copper ignites here. Now, we're going to do the same exact thing we're doing here on all of our nodes other than our limestone. Limestone, we don't need to do this because it's already set up. And there we go. So coming out of here at 240. Now, this is when you need to know your math, right? Now, going into here, to make copper ignis, it only needs to go at 30. So we know that every single one of these lines here is going to be just our basic belt level, right? So it only needs to come out of there maximum of 30, though it's going to come out of there at 60 because I can't control it to go slower because the slowest I can make it now is 60 because the overall starting speed is going to be that higher speed. But let's go ahead and connect all these in like this. And we'll come back, we'll do all our power and all that stuff here in a bit. All right, so we know that speed is going to be that. But the original speed here is actually going to be your fastest speed that I currently have available. There are way faster speeds, by the way. This one's at 270, right? So it's going to come out of the belt at 270, but actually it's only going to go as fast as this can extract. So this extracts at 240. That's the speed at which we're going to be going. So I'm going to hit number 7 down here, which is going to get my Mark III belt. Now, see, I can go ahead and do this. But you know I'm not going to do that. You know I'm going to just go like this, and then I'm going to push it back by 2. 1, 2. Like that. So we got it coming out. And then we're going to make a nice... that seems not straight. That does not seem straight to me. Hold on. Oh, yeah, it definitely seems like this is ever so... It's the foundations that are off, not this thing, by the way. This thing is straight. It's the foundations that are ever so turned just a little bit because I didn't line it up off of this. I lined it up off of other stuff over on that other side. So we'll just have to live with that just ever so slightly not straight. I mean, it's straight to it, but it's not straight to the rest of us. All right, so again, we can line it up like this, and we back it up by 2. Let's try to get 1, 2. There we go. And that'll give us a bit more of a 90-degree edge. That's why you do that. So it makes a nice 90-degree. It just looks nicer. It just serves no purpose other than looking nicer. That's it. Now, another thing I do is I like to leave it a little bit open so when I look at it, I can see what's going on with it. Some of the things that you can detect right away just by looking at the ore coming out of there. One, is it coming out fast enough? Are the raw ore pieces right next to each other, or is there a gap? If there's a gap, then it's going faster than what it is. If there's not a gap, then you know it's going either at speed or going slower than what it's extracting at. Now, right now, this is going to go at 270, so it's going to go a little bit faster than the actual extractor can go. So it's going to be cranking into there, and then it's going to crank into this first one at 60, so it's going to be going pretty fast. Now, what are we going to do here? Now, this is going to cut this in half and go 60 in there. Now, we could figure out all the math, but you know what else we could do? We could just go ahead and say, you know what, screw it. We don't want to figure out the math. Here's the not math. You just run 270, or in this case, 240 maximum, all the way down the line. Now, the reason why you do that is you don't have to figure the math. What it's going to do is it's going to just overflow. It's going to fill the first one and then overflow to the next one and fill the next one and so on and so forth. That's how not to have to do the math right there. You don't have to do any math at all for that. Just make this belt, the one that's running through, as fast as you possibly can. And the side belts, use your lowest level or the level that matches your input. And that's it. That's it. Easy peasy. Nothing else you need to do. You're off and running now. Do your power and you're good to go. All right. And so we're going to bring our power over. And we're going to go ahead and I feel like we're going to enclose this a little bit. Closer. I'm trying to figure out how I want to do this. I feel like this is too far. I don't like to waste factory floor. And I have zero problems just taking out exactly whatever I just built. I don't mind at all. I don't mind tearing the entire factory down and starting over again. That's just the way I am. Especially get my resources back because I hate wasting resources. I like it to be kind of custom built around the item itself. I could build a big old factory. That would be probably a lot of fun, but I'm not going to because I'm going to build it what I consider to be of kind of a minimalist amount. Right here, let's say that way. And right there. And we'll leave a little extra room here. Now we're going to do something fun right here. Right in this one right here. What we're going to do is we're going to go to our hypertube stuff, which is 4. You can make a tube wall, right? Now, I like to make the wall a little bit higher for where I put the thing. And the reason why is if it's at the ground level, when you walk past it, you're getting sucked into the thing all the time. Happens to me constantly. So what we're going to do is put it up a little bit. I don't like to put it in the gap like that. I like to put it up just a little bit. And then we'll take this out, and we'll actually go and connect this and this together. Now, see, I can't build it right now, and the reason why I can't build it right now is this object right here is in the way. So we're going to go ahead and once again move that around. And you'll do this a lot. You'll be moving the thing to here and moving the thing to there and putting your resources here and there and everywhere. That's just how it goes. And that's how it happens. Grab some of that out of there. All right. Let's try it again. Now, there we go. Now, you can actually have different modes. If you can see right there in the orange, there's different modes of your building, especially with your hypertubes. You can toggle your build mode by hitting R, like Roger, and then keep hitting R. And in this case, we're going to use a vertical. Look at that. It's really cool. When you come down, it's going to be boom. You're going to go really fast, and then you're going to have that vertical when you go up. So very nice. That'll allow us to get up and down from our particular factory. And let's take this out. There we go. And this out here. And that'll allow us to put that right back up there. Now, we're going to start using wall connector power so we don't have to do all of this. So we're going to do what's known as double wall outlet here. So we can go ahead and put our double wall outlet, and we can go ahead and run it like that. Now, this up here has some power. So we're going to try to grab that from up there, run it down to this side over here. And then we can go ahead and run it from there over there. Isn't that cool? I love the wall power. The wall power thing is just awesome, especially when you've been using those poles most of the time. Now we can just enclose the factory, make them into separate factories, and then have it connected to the wall and have them run along, have all the power run along the wall, which is pretty cool. Pretty coolio. All right, now we'll work on our second levels. Once we get our first level in, our second level stuff, pretty easy to do. Now, eventually I want to go ahead and have some catwalks up here so I can access this also. But because I have it enclosed away from mobs and things like that that might come in and get into my base, I should be okay to come down here to the bottom level now. I should be just fine. That's going to be a close one. Yeah, nice, nice. Now, also on this, when I'm doing walls like this, I like to get the wall way down at the bottom level. So I'll take this out. And then go ahead and grab a wall just by middle mouse button. I like to do this and then try to get it inside this little spot, which is kind of hard to do. So you got to take this out. Then you got to put a foundation down underneath the foundation you got, and so on and so forth to work your magic. Now we'll just say that we kind of cut that out, and we'll go with that little RP for that. Again, I don't need this underneath here, so I'm going to take it out just so it's not basically making my computer have to calculate it, and we're not going to see it. But normally, I'm a huge stickler for doing it legit, as I like to call it. There we go. All right, so those are now like that. Very good. Like that. And then we've got a kind of a main road that we can utilize to get to our factory. Look how nice that is. Whew, that is a thing of beauty, everybody. A thing of beauty. All right, let's keep going over here. Let's get our stuff all the way up. And we can come back and we can add different levels to it if we want, which is nice. But we want to get this as thing. Now, the next area up is going to act as our ceiling. You're like, oh, Kismet, this sure is a lot for just the extractor node. Well, it's whatever you want it to be. It's as complex or as simple as whatever you want it to be. Now, here on the other side here, we're going to go ahead and extend this out. Give ourselves some more room. I like to have lots of room in my factory. I don't like to just, cram everything in. People love to do that, get really efficient and cram it in there. If that's your thing, then more power to you. But in a real factory, you would need to have thoroughfares. And thoroughfares is where you can drive your vehicle or you can run back and forth without running into, without having to climb over machinery, right? You don't want to be climbing over machinery all day long. You want to have it where you make sure that you have it in there properly. Now, we're also going to do the same thing here. Along here, we are going to be making a ton of copper ingots. And so we want to go ahead and run this across. Hey, sorry, set an alarm for 12 noon.
Okay. I set an alarm for 12 p.m.
I almost forgot to set that alarm, too. At 12 noon, my time, Eastern Standard Time, we're going to try out some New World. We're going to scratch that MMO itch that some of us have. I've been getting it lately. I've been just like, oh, man, I kind of feel like playing some MMOs. And then this one came along, and I'm like, all right, I'm down. I'm down. Let's do it. All right. Oh, yeah, there's Kismet doing it wrong right there. Hey, the hardest thing in life to admit is when you make a mistake. And I just, totally had that going the wrong way. There we go. We want it to be facing this way. Again, we're going to be doing inline. So out of here, it's not going to ever go any faster than it can possibly output it right now. So eventually, though, this stuff will go faster. I can increase the speed of it by overclocking it. I typically don't. I just build more of that thing. The only reason I find to overclock stuff is if you want to fix the math, or if you want to, if you have a limited space in that particular area and you want to produce more stuff in that limited space. The things that I typically overclock are my offline production. Now look how clean that is, everybody. It just runs all right in the front and whatnot. Now here's the funny thing. This one you don't need. Why don't you need that one? Because it's a merger. And you could just merge it into the back of this one. You don't need that first one when it comes to mergers, which I think is kind of funny. I think it's kind of funny. Now, the same thing with the very last one over here. You don't need to go into here and then split it once into there. So let's take that one out as well. Now, we know at the end, by the way, that eventually it's going to diminish all the way across until it gets to the end. And we know the end one can just go in like that. But are we going to do that? No, we're not going to do that. We're not going to do that. We're going to make it look beautiful. We're going to line it up, and then we're going to back it by 2, 1, 2, like that. There we go. And then we're going to put that in like that. Beautiful. Look at that 90 degrees. So sweet. And there we go. So not only are we... See, this game is like a building game. But there's also a whole nother way of playing the game in such a way to make it beautiful as well. So I'm going to show you beautiful, and I'm going to show you functional. And again, these are all inline. So again, coming out at 240, and it's going to go 60 into that one. So that one's just going to fill up like crazy. And then it's going to go 60 into that next one, and so on and so forth, until it gets all the way to the end, in which it only will have 30 left. And so this will only have 30 left and end up in there. But as those, it's kind of like it fills the first one, overflows to the second one, overflows into that one, and so on and so forth. And that's why it'll start filling up and start working from right to left. Now, it takes longer to do that for it to fill it all up and get kind of ramped up to full production. But once it does, forget about it. Forget about it. You're off and running. Now, on this side, it's going to be coming out. Now, this maximum speed is going to be coming out of here at 30. There's no reason for me to go any faster than my most basic belt. We're going to go ahead and line it up with our green line here and our green line there. We got our 2 green lines. Back by 2. 1, 2. Put that down. Turn that this way. Did I have it the wrong way? What the? I still have it the wrong way. What the heck? I still have it the wrong way, everybody. You screw up, you gotta, here's life. If you go through life just making excuses all the time, well, it's because this, that, and, the sun was in my eyes and all of that. That's why it didn't work. No, I screwed that up. That was my bad. And see, the best way to learn something new in life is to admit you don't know. That's the hardest thing in life, is to admit you don't know and whatnot. And I thought I had that right. Coming out of there and into there. Huh. Let's try that again. Okay, that's correct now. There we go. I thought I had it correct, but I did not. I was doing something. Or maybe I had splitters instead of mergers. I am just functioning on low brain power today, everybody. Had a rough night last night, but I am feeling better. I know there's like a magical thing that happens when I get on stream, by the way, that I always feel better. That's why I do this, by the way. I don't do this for money or fame. I'm not going to be the next Tim the Tat Man or something like that. I'm under no delusion of grandeur up in here, that's for sure. I'm not going to be the next Shroud or whatever. I'm just going to be me, do my thing, right? That's just me. Now, over time, by the way, now we're going to do 30 and 30, so this is going to become 60, and I could make that into 60 and then 120 and do it. Don't do that. Don't do that. Just make the math work easy by putting your fastest belts. Put your fastest belts there because you got enough resources now, or you should have enough, to where you don't even need to do that math. Now, a lot of times we will just do the math, right? We'll go, okay, 60, now we need to do 120, and so on and so forth. But in this case, there's no reason. There's no reason to do it. Just do it at your fastest belt. You're off and running. Now, you come back and overclock these later on, too. You're good to go. So I could overclock these at 200%, and then I'd only need 8 of them instead of 16. But the thing is, when you overclock something, right, when you're overclocking something down here, it doesn't just take double the power. It takes more than double the power. And that's not good. If it just took double the power, if it took 8 instead of 4, hey, cool, GG. Now, last time I checked the numbers, it was actually more than 8 when you double clock. We might have to test that again, by the way. I haven't tested it in a while. And I have a spreadsheet where I wrote down all the numbers and all of that stuff. Let's get this battle going. Hold on. Let's focus on this battle, and we'll come back to it. But again, it's less efficient to overclock it than it is to make 8 more of them, as I found in the game, right? And those are the game mechanics you need to know. Because it requires more power for you to make if you're overclocking stuff all the time. Overclocking stuff sucks. The only time I overclock stuff is when I'm doing what's known as offline production. or the very big manufacturers, which require a lot of resources. Then it's worth the extra power hit, especially when you're like in between making stuff. Wow, we kicked some serious butt on that one. That was quick. Grants and rewards going to Bernie. Bernie. Getting some extra love there. And Kellen Mall coming in overall MVP with 22 kills. Like a Bosch. Let's get you guys some gold today. Look at, we're in tier 40. Normally we get even higher. I was a little tempted yesterday, by the way, to let the battles go after stream. What do you guys think today? You think I should let the battles go after stream? You think I should just do a battle mode? I should just go right into battle mode after the stream, just keep the stream range going? Because we only got 5 hours left. Actually, well, if I only got 5 hours left, I guess I could just do 5 hours. I'm going to be here for 5 hours anyway. So I should have went into battle mode yesterday. I thought so, but it probably would have been a mistake anyway. I had such a bad headache. I can't tell you the last time I've had that kind of bad headache. I mean, it must have been 15, 20 years. I've never had that type of headache. My wife gets headaches from time to time. But I really don't. I like taking any medicine at all. I don't like even taking, ibuprofen. I don't like taking anything. That's just not my thing. But when it's really bad, and especially when you get older, you're like, okay, I'm too old for this. I'm too old to just suffer this pain. But it didn't even work for me. So that's the thing. That's when I took that ibuprofen. I still had a really bad headache all night long. I could barely walk. And it really triggers my vertigo. It literally will make me fall down. When I have even a mild headache, but a really bad headache, forget about it. I can't even walk. It's like having the whole world like topsy-turvy, like that. That's my everyday, everybody. That's my everyday topsy-turvy world. Where it's tough to just walk down the stairs and go. My office is in the upstairs too, so stairs is like my nemesis. All right, so let's get this going and build this out. And again, come and join me. Oh, I forgot to put my unit down. Almost forgot. All right, I'm gonna go over here, whoever this is over here. I'm gonna go by Nikita Knits. Really? Do you knit? I love to support artists here on stream as well. Because not only am I a gamer, but I'm also a graphic artist. I have been for nearly my entire life. It's been my great joy of my life being a graphic designer. I've worked for basically the top companies in the world. Been very, very lucky in that way. I had a great career. I started very early, and I got to do. I feel like I'm one too high there. Yep, one too high. And enjoyed every minute of it. Just incredible bit of working. I've loved every minute of it and still love it to this day. I can't do graphic design like I used to. I can't sit for 12 hours and crank out, or 18, 20 hours, or sometimes days at a time. And crank out graphic designs anymore. I don't do design for other people anymore as well. So I do one thing. I try to stay focused. And I'm doing it right now, called streaming. When you want to do something in your life, everybody, focus on that thing. Put all your passion, all your love into it. I would say start with your family first. Start with your spouse and loved ones. Put all your time and effort into that, because that's going to give you the biggest return. Money is a common thing in the world, though it's not always easy to come by. It is what I consider a common thing, and you only need so much to survive. Like me, there's times at which I've had lots of money. I've been very wealthy and whatnot. I'm not bragging, I'm just saying. Oh, I forgot to change the screen. Sorry, I went right into build mode. That was my bad. Thank you for that reminder. That page thing works awesome, doesn't it, Dovey? It works great. I mean, it starts flashing, and I was like, oh, they need something. Oh, okay, screen. There we go. Thank you very much. I appreciate that. Now, when I screw up, here's the great thing. When I screw up, you guys get some Kiz Caps. There you go. So now you have a higher chance of winning the giveaways. So yeah, I have had lots of fancy things, and I can tell you after a while, it's just stuff. It's just stuff. I wouldn't trade my wife and family and all that stuff And right now, my wife is the one who works. Of course, she didn't have it that bad for about 10 years where I did all the working and she did the other work, which is very, very hard, which is raising my children. That's what we decided. We want to raise decent human beings. So we were going to invest our time and effort into doing so. And now they're all on the honor roll. They're all amazing, amazing, strong women. I have 3 daughters. My oldest daughter, who is 15 and who can now drive and has a job because she's a responsible human being. And that's how we are up in here. I feel like my job as a parent is to slowly transfer responsibility to them, right? As they get older, you're transferring the responsibility for them to understand the ability to put their own clothes on and use the bathroom and brush their teeth and do that stuff. But as they get older, they still need to continue to transition to do their clothes, keep their room clean, keep the stuff managed every single day. That is what they need to do. You don't need to be doing that for them their whole entire life. Me, I stopped getting that done when I was 5 years old. 5 years old, I was out mowing the lawn, learning to do the dishes, take care of my own clothes, make my own food. That's right, 5 years old, bro. That's hardcore right there. That's old school. That's old school learning there. But, you know, the parents are always there, you know, if you need help or whatnot. But you got to transfer that to my kids. Now, my kids, we started a little bit later, about 10 years old, and they learned to do all the stuff themselves. They should be doing their own clothes, putting their own clothes away and whatnot. You ain't their maid. You ain't there. It is, you know, you get into that habit of doing that for your children when they're young. But they've got to be able to learn that and understand that, look, this is going to be not only your responsibility now, but forever. That, you know, that's a forever responsibility. You're going to need to take care of yourself for your entire life. And I feel like when you start neglecting yourself, and everybody knows that, right? Everybody knows when they start neglecting themselves. It's when you start getting a little bit overweight. You start, not going to the gym anymore. You don't think of in terms of yourself, what I want and what I want to do, that kind of thing. And there's a good balance you have to find. Like me, I never think about when I see something or whatnot, I don't think, oh, well, hey, it's owed to me. I should get all the stuff and whatnot. I'm always thinking in terms of what do my kids need? What do they need for school? What do they need for this? What do they need for that? Those are the terms I'm always thinking of when you become a parent. But eventually, they're going to move out, and that's going to be great. I love my kids. I love each and every one of them. But the hardest thing you'll ever do in life is have children. I tell you, it's harder than any job you'll ever have. I don't know if it's harder than sleep apnea. Sleep apnea is pretty rough. And being ill all the time, that's pretty rough too. But one of the hardest things you do is raise children. It's because you're responsible for that being, and they're going to be who they are in the long run, but you're there to kind of guide them along the way because they don't really understand. The children don't understand. They don't understand a lot of the things in life, like they don't understand about money and all those things. And you want to teach them in such a way that they don't covet money. They don't covet things and stuff. But most people do anyway, because it's part of the society. But most people go, oh, I want that fancy car. I want that fancy thing. And I've had the fancy car and I've had the fancy thing and a fancy house and a whole closet full of $1,000 shoes. Big deal. If you're not enough without that stuff, you're not going to be enough with it. You're going to have the same problems. You have to get up every single day. You have to live your life. You need to manage your relationships. You need to manage all this stuff. Now, it does take some of the stuff out of the equation where you have to worry about your, just trying to pay your rent every day and trying to worry about food and water and all of that. It takes that away, but it just adds other things on top of that. You still have all the other responsibilities. And a great case in point, look at all the people who are millionaires and who are miserable because they haven't learned that basic thing, that if you're not enough without it, you're not going to be enough with it. So take a little Kismet advice. That's a little Kiz talk for you. Now, of course, it's your life. They're up to you. It's your life decisions. Make them great ones. There we go. And I do talk about that kind of stuff from time to time up here in the stream. We call it the Kiz talk. All right, why am I doing that? We don't want to do that. We want to pick this up right there. There we go. I'm going to run this over here. Now, I don't need a double-sided outlet for that one, so we only need a single-side outlet right there. And we're going to run that power. Look how nice that is up on the wall, right? Cool. I like it. I like it a lot. And there we go. Run that right up there. And now, let's watch her fire up. Now we're going to RP in that it goes, we cut out a hole. It'd be nice to have a foundation with a hole in it too. And then it's going down into the ground underneath the foundation. We'll just RP that in. Here we go. Boom. This baby's firing up at 240. Whoop, whoop. Firing that into there. Now, a little problem. No power. No power going on over here. Now, here's a fun thing to do. And that is to run your power off the wall. And this is something really, really fun that you can do at this stage. Now, you get these unlocked, by the way, from the Awesome Shop. And so I'm going to do these in groups of 3. So we're going to go ahead and say these first 3 here. We're going to get these going. Now I'm going to put this one up a little bit higher. Let's say right there. And then I'm going to connect this first one from there up to there. Now that gives me 3 more connections because it takes 4 connections. Now later on I can upgrade this to 7 connections and whatnot. I could actually probably do it right now because I do have a bunch of cadmium wire. But let's just start with our basics. And then there's number 2. And there's number 3. There we go. All right. And then we'll do the same thing over here. Now what I'm going to do is hit F and then middle mouse button. That allows me to pick that same one up. And then we can see that this one's 2 foundations over, 2 foundations over this way. Just to kind of get it centered off of the transport there. I don't know. I just felt like doing it. It doesn't really matter. I could put it right next to the other one and run it across there. But just to make it look nice, we'll go ahead and do that. So we don't need our poles, which I love, by the way, putting poles right here on the back of this. But it's no longer necessary to do that. Right? It's no longer necessary to have poles and to run all of that stuff in those various poles here. All right, we got this one. And we got that one going, this one going, that one going. Like we're missing one here. This one. All right, there we go. Very nice. And then one more. Oh, wait, we can't do one more right there, right? Because this one is taking the last of the 4 because we're also using it for this. So what we're going to do is actually take this one out and we're going to create a separate line for our transport. Do middle mouse button. There we go. Separate line for our actual transport, which will go up here and then I'll go to there. And then this one will go to our last one and we'll just put it over here. Now again, I'm going to come back and retool this again. We'll go ahead and make these, upgrade all of these. But look how nice it is to have all of your power kind of off to the side here where you don't have to deal with it. 1, 2, 3. Why can I not highlight my thing there? Oh no, we got the 4th one going that way. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, yeah, that's right. We made this one. I've already forgotten. That's as long as my attention span is, everybody. All right, and then we'll do these ones. I love this part, right? I don't think you guys see me do this too much where we have this all powered up. Now, notice that one of those is green. The last one is green, but the rest of those is red. You know why they're red? Is because I haven't told it what to do yet. This one I did. I told that one to make copper ignits, and it's off and running. But these other ones, I haven't told it what to do yet, and so it's not even feeding any of it into there yet. So let's go ahead and run across these and tell it what we want it to be. I like to hop across. You don't have to really do it. You can just you go up on top of them too and do it, which is really fun. And I'm just going to run along here, and this is the last one I told it what to do. And there we go. All of our stuff is running. We can see all the green in the back. We can see this is green. And there we go, everybody. We're producing 240 iron ignits right there. Very nice. Now, where are we sending this iron ignits? We're going to send it right up there. Now, we're going to have to go up there, though, and bring it up. And we're going to do some fun stuff with wall conveyors. Let's do it. I like the way you play this game. Thank you. Thank you. Yeah, I try to not only play, but kind of talk out what I'm doing along the way. I have played the game a lot, by the way, if you are new to my stream. I typically play through a game multiple times. This, I can't even remember what number I'm on now. Maybe 5, 6, 10, 50. I don't know how many times. Probably not 50. So maybe 10 or 15 times that I played through the game. And I'll get to a certain point and say, man, I could have done that way better. And then I will go and I will do it better. And now here, right here, we're going to bring this straight up to this upper level using our wall edges. So we're going to go ahead and put our wall in right here. And we're going to go ahead and put a wall conveyor in right here. Now, I don't want it to be at the bottom level. So actually, we want to put just a regular wall here. I want it to come in above a little bit. Now, the reason why I put it in up above is so that I can walk under it or drive under it or whatnot. It's going to be above head level, like over here, right? So that's where it's going to start, where I can go and do this. Now, over here, what's going on is this production back here was from down there and all of that. But you can see I'm doing all that production down below. So I don't need this production over here anymore. Like this anyway. We're going to be reworking this eventually in the long run. But we don't even need any of this anymore. So let's take this out and whatnot. Again, we're retooling all of this down the road. And as we, create one production, we're replacing it with another production. We're just testing some stuff out there. But we're testing out some how to make it look beautiful going down the wall runs like that, which I really like. I think that turns out awesome. And then how are we going to connect it down here so that it can go and run into our various boxes, which you can see back here, which comes through at 3 different levels and then goes in here and whatnot. Now, why do I do it at 3 different levels? And that's so it doesn't clip when I'm turning the corner. And whatnot in the back edge, not the front edge. This front edge won't clip, but the back edge here, this curve is going to run into each other. Now I can also offset it out further, right? So I can have it like this way and then have it curve and then go into the thing. You can do that as well. You can run them all right next to each other, so they're all 3 in line, and then when they turn, they'd be fine. But at some point, you're going to have to transition. Vertical stacking is much better than horizontal stacking, I find. I'm trying to get my trains going, and it's causing a massive rebuild. I always rebuild no matter what. That was Coach. That's what I'm doing right now. I'm retooling. I get to tier 4, I rebuild. Then when I get to my higher level extractors, I rebuild again. I always feel like there's a better way to do all of it. Now, also, you'll notice over on this side, I've got the ability to feed in here like this, in between these over to there as well. And you can see that's basically what I'm doing there. As I'm kind of, this one's a little bit lower than that one. This one's in through there, and right there, we're fooling around with that. Notice that all of my copper is now gone up here because we're going to be reworking all of this. So again, what we want to do is we want to go ahead and bring it up from our factory down below. Now we go ahead and finish up the roof area here. Now that we have the ability to go ahead and do this. Now I'll fix that power later on as well. We're going to go ahead and put this in. And see, this part here is going to become the roof of that part down there. Isn't that cool? It's just so awesome, this game. This game is so incredibly wonderful to build in. See, if you're a builder like me, this is like your dream game. Because, look, see, I can just aim at this little side edge here, and it knows what direction I want to go. Now, that may seem simple and obvious to everybody else, but especially if you're a builder like me, but other games don't do that. They don't make it where you put on the edge. You know, sometimes you got to fool around with it. Like you play 7 Days to Die, you know what you're doing? You're leaning out. And a lot of times you're going to fall because you're doing that lean out move a little too well. So I'm going to go ahead and build these foundations out over the top of here. And I'm using some pretty industrial strength ones right here, 8x4s. Normally I do use 8x2, especially when we need additional room. But in this case, we're going to use some serious 8x4s. Now look at that. Look how nice that is. I can build right in a row and so on. This actually triggers my vertigo, by the way. Every time I'm up real high like this. Oh, we're out of concrete. Well, how sad is that? Let's run over here and let's get some more. There any in here? Ah, none in there. Maybe down below. Let's go look. Isn't that cool? Now, by the way, I can also control the direction of that. I can have it shoot me the other way if I want. I might do that at some point. but I can control the rocks. All right, there's nothing in there. Cool, we take that out. And so we need some concrete. Well, how convenient that over here we've got a bit of our concrete factory going on. You can see I'm using my 8x2s. I rarely ever use the very thin ones. I usually only use a certain level of those. Now, the funny irony is to make a ramp there, which is what I was about to do, I'm going to need concrete. But to do that, I need concrete. So I got to come up here. And there we go. Oh, look at that. It's getting full. That's what you want to see. There we go. Firing back up again. You want to see that firing up, get lots and lots of concrete. So you always want to be that's why I always produce concrete first, because I know I'm doing a bunch of this, right? A bunch of this work. And let's just go ahead and make it nice, right? We're going to fill it in. You're like, Kismet, what about your foundations and your supports and all that stuff? You know, because this game is still in early access, I rarely ever do supports. I mean, if I was going to show it off and say, hey, everybody, look how fancy schmancy I am, then I would do it. But other than that, I don't bother. I don't bother to do that stuff in this case. And there we go. And then this one here is a bit of a problem one. So what I would do is actually just flatten this corner out. There is actually a piece that you can put in there, by the way. In your foundations, you can actually get pieces that fit in that corner. Now, another thing that we need to think about is, hey, are we really going to see all this stuff down here? Are we going to see all of this? Probably not. And really, is it going to be functional at all? I hate wasting resources for any reason. This part underneath here is not going to be functional at all. It's not going to serve any purpose other than sucking up our visual real estate, meaning our graphics card has to work a little bit harder. So I will take this stuff out. Now, in the long run, will I eventually leave this stuff in? Probably, when we have our own private server, eventually. I would go in and I would leave this stuff in. But right now, I would not. I would definitely... Uh-oh, there we go. Look out, we're dropping stuff. Dropping loots. And here we go again, everybody. Organization, industrial storage. Drop some of that in there so we're not dropping loot. I hate dropping loot. I don't like it. Don't do it. Don't drop the loots. Alright, and here, grab all. Okay, so again, we're just getting rid of all this stuff underneath here that's really unnecessary now. And so on. You're probably not going to see it from the front of the factory anyway. There we go. Now this whole side over here, see how we have this kind of going down there? I would take that out like this, and I would bring that up to the same level as this. That's just me. I see another foundation deck here I can take out. Take all these out. Again, this is kind of like the, you know, facade behind the scenes, right? And I would grab these upper ones like this. Oops. Exactly what I didn't want to do. Grab these upper ones and just kind of flatten this edge out. That's just my particular style. Now, I could go in and put in all these little mini ramps and whatnot. But do I really care if that is ramped up there? Not really. It actually kind of adds to the look of the thing. Not only are you building stuff to just build it, but you're also creating a look, a style to your particular factory or your base. And I kind of like that edge style, right? Like this is the thoroughfare that you're going through, right? We don't put anything here. This is our main road, right? We might tag these two rows here as a main road and say, look, we're not building anything there. How can we do that? Well, what you can do is you can go in and actually color stuff in. And that's what I would do right here. I would color this in as a primary road. So I'm going to go ahead and select the color of yellow. And I'm going to say, okay, well, when I come over here to work on my factory, I don't want anything to be built right here. Right? I feel like this is one of the great boons that I figured out last time is to build roads. Build a road where you know that nothing on that particular area is going to be built. Now in here, see, this is going to feed up back here. But this is going to be one of our primary roads. And so we'll say the same thing here. Kismet, do not build anything on these right here. let me select that one for some reason. Weird. No, it just didn't highlight. Don't build anything on this road here. Now, another thing that I can do, I'm out of stuff. Another thing I can do is say, you know what? I don't really like this. I'm going to go ahead and just take this out. Like that. And we'll take out the under parts. And just have the extractor at the lower level, right? Why have the whole entire thing at a lower level? Why not just have the extractor at a lower level and bring this up? And then less foundations that I need, less overhead. And there we go. So now we have that whole entire part at the same level. Now, I'm out of paint now, but that's how it goes. So you get the general idea. And I'll go through and I'll work all of that, rework all of that. I like to have my coffee cup, so there needs to be a way to like hold down R and then your stuff goes away. That would be awesome. Okay, this thing is making crazy tons of this. Okay, so we want to go ahead and line this up so this comes out and goes up to there. Now, here's the funny thing. Right now, this actually is going to be an outside wall. So really, if I think about it, this is not right. This is not going to work out. Right, and this sometimes I'll do this stuff just so you guys can see how to solve these problems. Like I'm going to have it come out of here. It's going to come out of here at its maximum speed, right? Because it's going to be running at 240, so it's going to be coming out of there, and then I want it to go up. But look how close that is, right? It's a little too close because it's going to go out of here, up here, and then back the actual opposite direction of where I'm looking. So this actually is not going to be here. This is... Oops, get rid of that other one. This is actually going to be on the other side. Let's build in some foundation. So it's going to come out of here and into there and run back the other way. Why do I want to do that? Because I don't want to run it into all my other stuff that's going to be on that other side. I want to run back the opposite direction so I can work that whole side over there, okay? Because I don't need iron, I don't need these ignits to go to my primary base because I'm not going to use them. The only thing that I'm going to do is run them in there. Now again, I love building in this game. Very, very fun. I highly recommend it. And again, it's called Satisfactory. If you've not discovered it yet, definitely check it out. Now, also what we're going to be doing is, see if I can get my walls going the correct way, is we're going to be doing some New World later, scratching that MMO itch that some of you might have. I've been getting it lately. We're going to use a tier 3 lifter, and we're going to try to line this up. Now, it'd be nice if it snapped in there and whatnot, but it's not going to. Oh, or maybe it will. Maybe I'll accidentally get it on purpose, or accidentally get it without trying. Normally, I get it wrong, and you got to go upstairs. I find it's easier to do it from up above than it is from down below. But there we go. So we got to think of in terms of that, right? So this is the outside wall, and this is the inside, and now it's running up to there. Into the next part of our factory. And so one of the things I like to do is you can actually build from down below. I find way easier than up above. And this is in any game, not just Satisfactory, but in any game I find a lot of, depending on what you're building obviously, is a lot easier, especially foundations from down below. But then again, this game is just really fun to build in. It's really exceptionally well done. It's thought out. It's thought out like, hey, if we were going to build a game where we did lots of building, how would we make the building? Well, if you just kind of, roll over the one from before and you go to the upper edge, then it would go up. If you roll over the left edge, it would go, this actually is going to the side. See, I'm rolling over that one. Or if I go to the bottom, it knows it needs to go up. Or if I go to the fourth one up on the edge, boom, it knows it needs to go right there. See, that's how all building games, once you see how this works, that's how all building games should work. Because it is so subtle and it is so wonderfully done. And that, I'm sure, took a lot of thought and work to make that happen. So huge credit to them, to all the peeps over at Coffee Stain for doing an exceptionally great job on this game. Thank you for making a game that wasn't, microtransaction or cut into little DLC bites and crap like that. I hate when people do that. Where did I put that stuff? I think I put it way over here, actually. I hate when they do that, when they charge you $60 for basically $10 worth of game. This is an absolute buy. This is you're kind of ripping them off. This game is so good. I mean, it's at that level. I feel like you're getting it for a steal. It's so good. It's so incredibly fun. Now, eventually, you're going to have private servers, and we're going to set up a mega server. We are, and then we can all build together, building trains and building all sorts of epic stuff. They said they're going to work on it soon, TM. So no ETA on it yet, so don't ask me. I don't have any inside information. I'm not sponsored by them, so that's how you know I'm talking to you legit up in here. You got to do the first wall. I get out. See, I'm so used to just going to the second wall right away, but you got to do the second wall after you do the first wall. And then once you do the second one up, then it will remember all the way across. That was the first time I've probably built out to this extent at this early thing. Look at that. Isn't that awesome? That's freaking awesome, bro. That's awesome. I dig it. All right, and then we'll go ahead and put this right here. We got a legit factory going on up in here. Now, one thing I probably put in, this is just me and my crazy thoughts. You might want to put in a doorway or something in there to get in there. But I don't have my doorways unlocked. So what I'm going to do is just leave the area open. We're just going to work around that particular area. Look at how nice that is. Look how nice that is. And then we'll say that's our primary road there. And we already know what our primary road is over here. And this is what's nice about having lots and lots and lots of concrete. Now you can probably guess what I'm going to be doing on this side, which is filling that in. And while we're doing that, let's do a battle to battle, everybody. I wish they had MK2 pipelines. I agree, that was coach. But remember, this is early access. They're not done with it yet. So they're definitely going to add more stuff down the road. I mean, just imagine how many awesome things they could add to this game, right? If you've seen any of the mods, I don't play with mods, but if you've seen any of the mods that are out there, oh man, they are just killer. Some really killer stuff. All right, there we go, everybody. So yeah, we have built our own internal factory. That is just around the node. You can see we've enclosed it in and raised it all the way up. We're using our wall connectors now, so we don't have to have the poles everywhere and, space them out, all that stuff. Just got it connected to the wall. We've got some transport from the upper base to the lower base, and that's it. That's all I got to need to do. That's it. Now, from here, I will then go up above and use all of that stuff up above. And we'll put a, what's known as a buffer in there, where we'll put a box, which will build extra, in case we do need to go there and have those iron ingot for whatever reason. We can do that. Now, also, we can do that in the beginning, which I find very rarely do you need raw ore. I could literally just go over here and grab it, or I could grab it out of this if I need the raw ore. And in this case, if I need the copper ingots, I can grab it out of there too. So, do I really need to have a box full of that? Probably not. Probably not, because it got so much extra there. Oh my gosh, wait, it's just me! What the heck happened here? I look away for a second. Oh no, it's down to me! Oh no! I'm a sole survivor! I got this, everybody! Come on, Kismet! Come on, step it up! Last man standing! Holy moly, I'm gonna bring in the win for you guys. Come on, now, we work together. It's a teamwork effort. Oh, wow. That was it. That was just me, everybody. Just me at the end there. But, of course, everybody is a vital part of the team. You guys should have put down way more units, everybody. Way more units. That was too scary. That was right down to the wire. Graduate's Big P Daddy getting some extra love. And we're going to call him MVP because we don't count me. I just come in and help you guys get tons of loot. That's how we do. Back to it. Let's get you guys, speaking of loot, let's get you guys some treasure. I'm going to get my buddy Norbert right over here, and he's going to heal the heck out of you guys while you guys go grab all that sweet, sweet loot. There we go. That was pretty sweet, all the way down to the very last one there. Last man standing. That's why I used my tank, see? So if I used my healer, we might have lost. That's pretty scary. All right, so let's get that in there. I filled in that other side there, and now we are looking awesome. So that factory is set up and ready to go. Now, guess what? We need to do that 4 more times. So if we're going to do it a lot more efficiently over on this side. Now, you might see some colors come in up above there. That's my roads. See, my yellow is my roads. That area there is where my hub typically is, and so on. Okay, so now we got to do that a whole bunch more times over here and get that going. Now, I kind of feel like I'm going to just take this upper area out now. There's Fred again. Just going to take this upper area out because we're going to just go ahead and try to do a ground level build. Typically, I don't build at the ground level. I don't like building ground level because the mobs sometimes respawn. But in this case, we're going to put our foundations down, which should hopefully help us to keep the mobs from spawning. There we go. So we got plenty of room now to build up to that upper level. And we're going to underfeed a lot of this eventually, and it's going to be working up above here. And the same thing here. We're going to be using the under part of the base to feed this up into different directions. So right now I'm just using the basic lifter, but we will eventually bring it down a level and run a whole nother level, which will just be for our conveyors, and then having conveyors going up to their various locations. It's going to be pretty awesome. Now, if we go up here, like so, we can see that we have a bunch of concrete going. And way back here, we've got that going. I think that's okay. We'll leave that there. We can fill in the rest of the factory and enclose this in and whatnot. I think I'm just going to leave it open for now. We'll come back to it in a bit. And so now we need the same thing, but we need it with iron. Now, here's the thing. I have... oh, I forgot to put the rest of those things in there. There we go. Or put them back. Here's what we've got. We got 4 of these, and these are going to be doing the same thing as that. They're going to need 8 each, right? So we're going to need 8 for each of these, and so we got to figure out the logistics of that space. Now, the first thing I tell you is this thing's in the way. That's for sure. But look at all this space we have over here as well. Now, again, the other thing I would do is I would have this on a lower level, and I would just take all of this back out. We were just talking about how to bring down the level of your base and your foundations and all of that. But again, that this should all be at the same level. The rest of your base, at least that's how I feel about it. Such is the way it goes. And yeah, we'll just suffer with that multi-level. Now me, I would want to put a wall right there. And it's going to take a little bit of a doing to make that happen. It's not going to let me put that wall right there. So I'm going to back this up by 1. Because I want eventually, obviously, to be all enclosed. Now, this is another problem here, too, because, look, the levels are going to be different. How do you fix that? You do the same thing I was just doing before. You take this out. You put this up here, up there, and then you use this. Put that down in the ground. So you've got that wall down there. And then same thing here. See, that's going to be at a different level. So, all right, hold on. We don't want to do that, right? We'll go, okay, we want to go ahead and have that wall running at the upper level, and then the lower level here be at the same as the foundation. Now, another thing I can also do is just put a foundation in there, by the way. Just take this out and put that foundation back in there, and that'll add as the bottom lip of the wall. I don't know. Sometimes I like it, sometimes I don't. Sometimes I prefer to just have the wall there if we're going to be using that. In this case, this actually is not going to be there. This is going to be back here, this outer wall. It's going to be like that. That's how that's going to be in the end. So, you know, you can go either way. Me, I'm going to go with the secondary wall. Holding that up. I feel like that looks nicer, right, in that particular little corner. Looking good. Now, how to get it going correctly this way? Well, it's to use the other side over here. So we use the other side temporarily over here. Like so. We'll bring it up. Why are we bringing it up? So we can walk through here and get to this if we want to. And then over and then down. Isn't that nice? Man, I love that about this game. I absolutely love it. Now, this wall over here is not going to be here. That was only there temporarily to get started. This is not going to be here for right now. We'll probably make that a little bit higher. But we're just trying to get this wall edge started and have it at the multiple levels that we're fooling around with, right? And I love that about this game. Now, again, we got lots of room here, so we got lots of room for all of our stuff, especially this. We can actually rotate this and rotate it in an opposite direction. So it's not going this way, it's going the other way, or that way, or whatever. I kind of like this, though, because I'm gonna dogleg this. So I'm going to just like right to there, and then have 8 of them there. And what we're going to do this way is we're going to do something different. And the reason why we're doing it different, just so you can see the different ways that I would do it. But instead of it all being in a row like this, we're going to actually offset the rows. It's going to be kind of fun. So we'll do that on there. And then the same thing over here. This one, I don't have to go straight out and just do all this area here. I could go that way, right? And I could take all this out and rerun all of this and just run it straight out that way and have it hang over. And we'll just say we built supports underneath. We'll RP in a little bit of that. But there you go. And so on. So the biggest ones that we want to work with are the ones in the sides here, right? This whole area, we need to decide, is this going to be part of our factory? Is it not going to be part of our factory? How are we going to keep Fred out of here, who loves to walk in and out of our base all the time? And so on. And will it stop Fred from being in here? There's another question, too. Put these foundations out here. Now, see, in this particular playthrough, I told myself I'm going to work with foundations at ground level this time. And try to figure if there's a way to stop mobs from ending up in your base. We'll find out. Again, remember, this game is early access, so it's not even done yet. It's still cooking in the oven. And these guys are doing a really phenomenal job. I love all the updates they've done. They've really made the game really great. They just continue to make it great. I show them lots of love. That's why I need lots of concrete. All right, I feel like that's pretty sweet. I like it. Okay. Now this one I don't need to dogleg. This one I can just physically turn that way, right? So I'm going to take this one out, and I'm going to go ahead and physically turn this one in that direction. There we go. And then we got 2 more this way. So I can have this one going straight, that one going that way, and so on and so forth, and we'll all re-merge. And I'll have 3 lifters that lift it up. Now, you can see where I have my roads up here, and then I have some stuff over here, and this is all going to be retooled and whatnot. But let's just go ahead. Before we start down here, we should think about where's it going to the next level up. And the next level up is actually my production level. This is where we've got all of our stuff running all over the place, and all of this is going to be torn down and redone over today and tomorrow. But you can see I have like some iron being run up here and stuff being made and so on and so forth. And I've got smelters. I won't need these smelters anymore. So really all of this needs to go. All of it. Got to go bye-bye. And you're like, well, Kismet, you spent all the time doing all the thing, and it doesn't matter. It's okay. Rebuild it from scratch. It's awesome. Rebuild it. Make it better the second time. Now, speaking of rebuilding, let's go over here and take a look over here. That actually went right in there. Awesome. So now we're going to have our iron ingots, or not iron, but copper ingots coming in here. And we're going to build out the rest of our copper production over here. And I'd go in and do something like this. Keep yourself from falling down in there. And you know that's where your transport is. So very cool. Very rare do I enclose everything and do all of that. I'll build little separate factories from time to time. But it is very fun to go in and make it like a real factory where you got, you know, stuff going up and down, and you have your foundations in, and you got your under support and whatnot. Because we actually put under support in, which typically we don't do when we're just fooling around. But very nice. All right, we'll take this out over here. And then again, this is going to go here, and then I have this whole area over here. All of this over here, this will be my whole copper area. I'll do all the different copper. And then it will go ahead and run itself back over to here. Now you're like, well, Kismet, what are you going to put on this side? Well, eventually, actually, I'll take my cadmium and other stuff that I have running over there and actually bring it down to this level and work with a bit with those cadmium ingots and wire and all of that stuff down here. But that stuff will also need to feed eventually over here into whatever I want to have in that base level over there. But first things first, we need to get our our stuff going in here, our this stuff here, this thing, concrete. We need to get our concrete going in this conveyor right here. Now, we've already gotten our concrete working down below. That wall is in the middle of nowhere. We already got our concrete working down below, but look at this. See, we got all these power poles everywhere. Ugging up our base. It's ugging up our base right now. Now, what we want to do is look down here and say, okay, where's our production, and is there anything that I need to do to bring that stuff up here, right here? No, I don't. So I can actually kind of fill this in. Now, this gives me the ability to run down here and access this, but I feel like I'm going to take that out in this particular playthrough, though I normally would do that. I'd normally make it where I could access it from up above, so I don't have to deal with mobs. But we're going to use foundations to block mobs this time, and we're going to see if that works out, because sometimes they love to respawn. So we'll take all of those out. Now we're looking good. In fact, let's just fill this in with these nice ones over here. I love the fact you can build from way up here. Let's give a little extra room. I feel like I want to fix this kind of catty corner angle it's at too. Let's do it. Wow, because we're gonna die. Now I got my skates. You get your skates, man. You can jump from high levels. I love the skates. I actually love the skates more than I love the jetpack. This is what I'm talking about here. Your Blade Runners. Get those unlocked as quick as possible. Makes it a lot easier. Okay, so we did this originally because we had it at an angle so we could access from up above. But if we don't need it at an angle, then let's just fine-tune it a bit here. Like that. And then we're going to use our lifter. What are we at right now? 240? Yeah, 240. Okay, we use our level 3 lifter. Aim it that way. And then we'll make it beauty-mess. There we go. Oh, but look, it's like that. Now, we can make it a perfect arc and whatnot, but that's fine. That's good. It's going to run all that in there. It's going to be good. Now, we got that going. Now, up above here, we can say, okay, we don't need this right there, but we are going to need the ability to get down here if we want to get to this spot right here. And then also, we're going to want to bring in some power. So let's go ahead and think that through, right? Where's our wall going to be that's going to bring us down here into the lower part of the factory? It's going to be, I'd say, right here. And I want it to shoot at me out where I end up right here. And I'm going to retool that other transport over there too. But basically, I want it to go outside the factory, bring me down, and then aim me in the direction of the stuff that I want to work on. Maybe I want to work on this. Maybe I want to go up here and retool all of this. But if you think of that in the long run, then you can actually aim yourself in those particular directions. So we're going to do that, and we're going to put it up just a little bit. And then we're just going to say, okay, I feel like this is good. Let's fill this in. Might notice I've got an extra row here. What extra row? I didn't see no extra row. What are you talking about? There ain't no extra row. Now, later on, we'll come back and we'll get all fancy and we'll, you know, put in all the glass stuff and all of that. I don't do that early game. That's a lot of work for very little return, I find. Again, you notice that I build a very minimal amount of foundations along the factory. Now, this I would like to be at a lower level. Like that, but you can do your first one and then just aim at the bottom of the first one and then it will go down below that lower level. Got me on that last one. It got me. It switched it on the last one. There we go. Very nice. And here we go with the rest of our factory. Now this one I'll probably retain a lot of this structure. But I can always expand it outwards. We're actually going to build the underpinnings of our base. We're going industrial strength now. Look how easy it is to build stuff, right? It's so elegant in the way that it works. I mean, every time I play the game, that's what I think, how wonderful it is to build in the game. That's what you want in a building game. You want the people to think, man, I love this game. I love the way it makes it super easy for me to do whatever I want to do. We got plenty of resources and whatnot. Look, our power's coming up here. Bye-bye, power. They're like, Kismet, you lost your power. That's okay. We're going to make it beautiful. We're going to make it beautiful. Like, Kismet, you can't see your view. I'm building a factory over here. I don't want to see no stinking view. Oh, I don't want no stinking view. This needs to go out by 1. Hold on. Before I do all of this, this needs to go out by 1. Why does it need to go out by 1? This way I have an access road. Access road so I can drive my vehicle. I'm always thinking in terms of access roads. Should you need to bring your vehicle in and whatnot. These smaller ones are a little tougher to make go perfect as opposed to the big ones. Big ones are real easy to fill in. All right. There we go. Let's do all the bottom level ones first. And then once we do the top level ones, it'll remember. Oh, out of plates. Well, luckily we got a bunch of them down here. And I got to watch out. Whoop. Oh, see, little something there, right? Because we added that extra thing. So let's go ahead and take this out. We'll put the side walls in over there eventually too. And all of that. Let's see. So that's looking good. And this is just going to, this is just temporarily there. That actually wants to feed all the way up to the top. In which we'll do that. Oh, we need our plates. That's what we're doing. Plates. Down here. Oh, none in there. All right, cool. Take that out. Let's go get some plates. Oh, wait, why am I walking over? I'm going to go over this way. And again, we're going to have like different transports for different levels. And we're going to go up here. Like so. We're going to revamp all of our transport, revamp all of that so it's using all the wall stuff. Now see this right here? This used to be feeding up from down below there. Nope. At least not for right now. Out it goes. Over here, we had a ramp here. Don't need it anymore. We got hypertubes now. No more ramp. Ramp all gone. Now we can use our hypertubes to get where we need to go. And we'll build a whole system of hypertubes getting from one side of the factory and whatnot. And so on. Right now, we're just kind of getting this going on. Do I really need any of that? Let's take a little bit of screws just in case. All right, and then we'll go back down. That definitely needs to be changed. I would put it more on the side here, maybe right here. So then when it shoots me out like this, or I could put it on this side of the wall right here, right? And then when I come out, poof, it'll shoot me out this way. And then I can do this or I can deal with that, right? That's probably a better option, is that wall right there. And then it shoots me out where I need to end up in this particular part of the factory. I'll probably do that later, but right now, let's stay on target on what we're working on over here. Now, basically how I did that, by the way, just now I hit F, like I'm going to take it out, and then middle mouse button to pick up that particular object. I've been trying to get into the habit of doing that more often. It's kind of like learning anything, right? It's got to become a habit. Man, do you use a lot of concrete? It looks great, though. I typically don't. I typically don't build like this. I typically don't go in and build all the walls in. This is probably the most I've ever done in any playthrough. I will build little mini factories from time to time. But because we're working in the more advanced area and we're working very vertically, I thought, this time, let's do it legit. Let's do it full factory-esque action here, all right? That's what we're going to do. So we're going to go ahead and run this. Now, we need to get power down to this lower level. So we'll want to go ahead and tie in some power, and we'll do that here in just a bit. I feel like we'll tie it in, say, right here. And we're going to go ahead and do our new stuff. I love these wall poles. They're so cool. They're so cool. So I'm going to go ahead and say I'm going to tie it in right there. Now, I can run it through the floor and all of that stuff if I want to. I typically am not a big fan of that. I do like to run it along the line. But we need to kind of figure out where is our transport going to be and all of that stuff. And we already said, hey, I'm going to have it right here. So it spits me out, boof, right there, or even right here. So we're going to say, okay, this is going to be our transport here. And that's going to go outside and then back in. Right, and I'll show you what I mean. So the one I did before where it goes inside, it goes from one side to the other side. This one's going to go out and then loop back in, which I feel is actually a better way. And we're doing different stuff so I can show you different things. That's why I'm doing it differently, by the way, everybody. If you're wondering why I'm not just doing everything the same. I'm not a big fan of doing everything symmetrical. I feel like that's like a starter thing to do. That's what somebody who starts something does everything symmetrical because that's all they can do. But I much prefer doing it non-symmetrical. Or just doing it whatever is necessary, as opposed to making everything perfectly symmetrical. Though, if you like that, if you like just perfect symmetry all the time, go for it. Hey, it's your game. You play it however you want. Now I'm going to do a little bit of this, and I'm going to do a little bit of that. And that's going to allow me to access from the outside. And you're like, well, Kismet, why is that 2 up from your foundation up there? The reason why it's 2 up is so I don't accidentally get sucked into that particular thing. And now we're going to go out here. We're going to go ahead and use our connector. Now look at that. See how it does that vertical? It's perfectly vertical. I love that you can set that to the vertical mode. Now, if you go from this side to that side, then it will favor the other side. If you go from up there to this side, then it will favor this side. Meaning the actual vertical will move based on what side you connect first. So very cool. So we're going to run that along the outside. That is beautifully connected now. And of course, we're out of the stuff that we need. And again, I usually find that by every one of these smelters or wherever I'm building, I typically end up building a crafting bench. Somewhere in there, right? Somewhere I have a crafting bench because there's always that one more thing that I need and whatnot. And let's get that. Look, we're almost out of concrete too. But that's okay. Guess what this is making right here? Endless sources of concrete. Right over here. We got a little smidge. Got a little smidge of concrete over there, everybody. I don't think we're hurting for concrete. And this is why I backlog a lot of concrete. In fact, I typically backlog at least 3 to 4 boxes worth of concrete. Because sometimes I'll grab concrete and I'll do a bunch of stuff. So yeah, this is not a typical thing that I do, by the way. Just in this particular, the way we started is we started very vertically. Because we got all our pure nodes kind of packed into this one area. So we're working much more vertically. Normally I work horizontally so people can better understand how I'm running all of my splitters and all that stuff. Also, I'll do charts. I'll do spreadsheets and all of that. So I apply to your logic side and your creative side of your brain. So we appeal to both sides for those of you who are one way or the other. Me, I am both. I use both sides of my brain. I know, crazy idea, huh? Crazy! All right, we're going to go ahead and put our wall outlet right over here. And this is going to be just for our power right there. We're going to go ahead and connect this from up there down to there and then from there to there. Now, it doesn't have any power up there yet. But what we're going to do is now that we've got that established, we've also got established our walls, which are going to end up right there. Now we can also go up to that top part there. Not right now because we don't have any power. I think no power there yet. But what we can do is go up there and we can say, you know what? I want to go ahead and do a double wall outlet up here. And then we can run it through from up there down to here. Now, it's better to go up there and do it, I find. I find it's better to go up there and do it than it is to do it from down below. So let's go up there and let's go ahead and tie this power in. We're going to redo all this power here too. Now, we can also bring the power directly from down below. I will actually have 2 power lines. One power line, which is the factory power line, and then one, which is the transport line. And we'll get into that a little bit as well. Now, some of the stuff that we're going to do here is just all tied together into the same power grid. And then we'll come back and we'll retool all of it because I'm not really sure exactly where I want all my transport yet. So going in and adding all that infrastructure is going to be a waste of time because I know I'm going to change it later. If you're going to change it later, don't spend hours and hours and hours and then only end up doing it unless you want to. It's your game. You can do whatever you want. But for me, I'm going to go ahead and actually tie the power in from down below here. So we can go ahead and pick, let's get up here and pick it. Go ahead and pick the level which we want it to be. Now, I like to be up nice and high. Then I don't have to look at it. And then we're going to take this one out. And for right now, we're going to go ahead and just keep this one here. And we're going to tie that up into there. Now, that's coming directly from my coal plant, which I don't think you can see unless I move over here. You can't quite see this off in the fog. It's right over here. I actually have 12 coal things running down there, which is really nice. And actually, I can put even more down soon as well. Okay, so we tied it up there, and then we're going to run it across. Now, I'm going to run it across the back edge of it so that we don't have wires running all the way over the thing. Now we only need a single wall outlet, and then we're going to run the wire from over there to over here. So this actually is going to feed up instead of feeding down from up above, right? So it's going to feed up into that upper part. And then we'll connect this across here like that. And now our hypertube is actually working. So we go test it out. Let's go. I'm always thinking, uh-oh, where am I going to end up? Are there going to be foundations there when I get to the top? Yeah, watch out for that. Watch out. So again, we can connect this from up above like that. But I'll show you another cool way of doing this. Let's go back down. Let's put our thing in here. Always with the stuff. Now, one of the whole purposes of what we're doing right now is retooling our factory is so that we can make these encased industrial beams. So when we're using this, we can make them and a whole bunch of other stuff at the same time. So it's like, do which one, the chicken or the egg first, right? It's kind of like that. What do you want to do first? And so on. We're not going to build this whole entire thing out here. We're going to go ahead and power. We're going to go ahead and bring our power outlet, actually do a double outlet right there. Where's our other outlet here? It's actually over on that one. You know what? Let's bring it over here. I like to put it in the center. I don't like putting it in the middle of the thing. I like to be where all the things come together. I feel like we'll take it out there and we'll move it over here. I feel a better spot for it is right there. And then we're going to move our one from down below. All right, down there. All right, looking good for now. Now, we can't get down there because we don't have a thing, but if you're crazy like me, oh God, Kendra, you're going to die. Now I got my skates on. That's why I love these skates. They're awesome. All right, so again, we've got this running here. You're like, nah, we don't need this. Hold on. Let's make this even better. Let's retool this again. I'm going to put a double wall outlet here. And then what we're going to do is, yet again, just like we're running this out here, we're going to run our power on the outside. All right, from up above down to there. Look how clean that looks, right? When you're running your power on the outside of your base across the multiple levels so you don't have to run it through your foundations. So very nice. So we'll go around here. Oh, look at that. See, that's going into the opposite direction there, right? You're like, nah, I want that to look better. I want that to look better, Kismet. All right, no problemo. Grab it from this side. Then run your power line. Now you don't even see the power line. Look at that. It's clean, clean, clean. Out of sight, out of mind. Look at that. Outside your base. You're welcome. You're welcome. That looks awesome. All right. So that's running on the outside. Looking, shaping up big time. Now right here, same thing. We could run this, instead of running on the inside of the base, we could run it on the outside. Though I am going to be using some of these connectors, so I do definitely want that to be on the inside of the base. And then this part over here, what I'm going to do is I'm going to make another little outlet here. So we have less of a, gap across there like that, just to make it look a little nicer and run fairly well and keep that kind of hanging line just in the corner. And that's just a cosmetic thing, everybody. It doesn't really do anything else other than just cosmetically makes it awesome. And then right there we go. Now, also on the outside here, we have the power up there, right up in the top. And let's go up there and look at the top one. We say, you know what? I don't really like this cord. I don't like that cord. It's going through my wall, Kismet. I don't like it. I don't want it to be like that. Save me. Save me from ugly cords. We gotta go this way. We gotta try to at least land on this. There we go. A little bit lower, you're gonna get hit. So you can probably guess what I'm gonna do since I did it on that one. I'm gonna do the same thing up here. This is all cosmetic, everybody. This is cosmetic, making your stuff look nice. There we go. So I ran that on the outside. You'll never see that cord. It's not running through the wall. It's very cleanly running in there. So, mwah, beautiful. Beautiful. I love how you make everything look well as working great. Yeah, I feel like that's the whole second part of the game. I mean, the first part of the game is learning how to make it work. And then the second part is making it work beautifully and make it lined up and everything working great and all of that. So you get the general idea. Now, what I would do is I would actually leave this here because when you come back later and want to retool this or whatnot, I would leave it just a little ledge here to remind yourself, hey, I did a bunch of stuff out here. Now, normally I would put a doorway in there, but since I don't have my doorways unlocked yet, we're just going to leave it like that. Look at those foundations out there doing a whole lot of nothing. Take them out of there. Take a few of those out of there. All right, and there we go. So we've got this all enclosed now. We've got our power run nicely. Now, our power over here on this particular one, and you can see we're retooling these as we go, is running from the back. I love doing that, by the way. Oh, I meant to jump there. Feel free to just jump down, bro. When I told you to jump over to there. There we go. I love doing this from the back of these. I feel like that should, like, snap to the top of that. I think it's pretty awesome, but you know what's more awesome? Is not even needing those at all, right? No poles. And then how are we going to do no poles here? Well, we're going to need some connectors, obviously, on the walls that are going to do the same thing as what we're doing here. Now, you can run them low, you can run them high, whatever you feel like doing. Me, I'm going to do them. And this is going to be a single-sided outlet, by the way, just this one side. Now, I could run the power outside, around, and over to here, but I'm just going to run it inside, and I'm actually going to run it right there. And then this one is going to be here. And this one is going to be over there. Oh, wait, too low, too low. That was my bad. Hold on. Up there. Up there. Okay, and again, the whole point of this is just to make it look nice, right? So that's coming across, connecting here. Now remember this outside power line here? That outside power line is also connected to these two things. So that's three things that's connected to. And so when you're running stuff, keep that in mind that even your outside connections do matter. They do count, right? So when you're connecting things to that, you're there, oh, well, hey, I want to connect another wire to that. Oh, I want to connect this wire over here. Oh, well, okay. Now, because of the connector itself, you notice that I can do two more connections out here. And then here I've got 1 and 2. But watch this. I'm about to blow your mind. Grab power line. You're like, wait a minute, Kismet. You got 8 things connected to that thing. That's because both connector sides, 4 on this side, 4 on that side. You're welcome. I just blew your mind. You're like, oh, my mind is blown. Right there. You're welcome. That's right. You can connect 4 on each side. So if you connect 2 over here, these do not take up the ones inside. And that's why I did that, everybody. That's why I did that. So you could learn that technique. That is awesome. So that means that what we can do is we can keep it going down the line, but also what we can do is just connect it directly from this one right to our extractor. So our extractor can get back up and running. Now over here, same thing. We've got a little bit of this run along here, and we're just kind of cosmetically running this along the edge to make it look nice, like that. And I like to get up high wherever I'm working and just see what's going on, right? Whoa, hey-oh. Okay, that launched me. Because I have a fairly fast conveyor there that launched me out of there. There we go. Okay, so I can go ahead and connect these three here, but that's not going to work in the long run. What I'm going to need is I'm going to need power for each and every one of these. Now, what you can do is do what I call a hanging wall, where you run another wall across the top here. Come on, wall. There we go. Not the game, it's my mouse. All right, so you run a hanging wall like that, and then run it, instead of running it to there, you run it to a double, right? Run it to a double, and then you can go ahead and do this. And say this. And so now what we do is we have 4 connections on this side and 4 connections on the other side. So we can go ahead and grab this and now run this over here like that. Now, that's kind of redundant. All of us know it. Just too redundant. It's not going to be too bad to run that cord from behind. Let's not make it too redundant. There we go. So now that one's on that side. Now, another thing I can do is say, you know what? I don't like this cord running across here. I want to go ahead and make it beautiful. I want to go ahead and take this cord and just run it literally that length right there. Isn't that nice? Oh, it's so wonderful. It's so wonderful when you get into this kind of stuff. Okay, now this one over here is going to go ahead and run to the first one. All right, so there's 1. There's 2. And there's number 3. Now, how many of these we got total? 6 of them. Now, I could run another one, a 4th one, but I'm not going to. Now, behind here also, we need to connect this one over to this one, or I could have brought it over from the other side over there as well and brought that across. And now that we've got this kind of hanging wall, you know what we want to do? We want to make it look nice, right? We want to be like, hey, Kismet, make it look nice, bro. We could go ahead and put a double-sided one in the corner. I just don't like the way that it sits in the corner. But, well, you know what? We'll go ahead and just do a little double wall outlet. And we'll make this look nicer. Main power line over to there. And then this to there. And there we go. See, you're going to do a lot of that fine tuning. And it's just going to feel so good when you make it look awesome. When you're just like, okay, now my power is looking great. And I could make it, by the way, also so it's feeding from underneath. If I didn't want to see the power lines at all, I could have a whole level of just no power lines at all. All the power lines would be underneath as well, if you want. And the same thing with all of these lines. All these lines are going to be underneath all the other lines up above. You won't even see those lines. That's what this whole level is for, is to feed that to wherever it needs to go up above eventually. So very, very cool. So here we go. We've got it back up and running. Our production's looking good. We got it enclosed now. We can go ahead and finish up filling in our upper area. We no longer need it to be open. Oops, that was a little low on that one. And there we go. Now we're going to need some lighting in here. That is for sure, because it's going to be super dark down here for sure. So yeah, so we got that outside wall. Now, should I go in and make that wall? Maybe. It's actually hanging from the top part. I could, you know, right there is where I would put glass, by the way. Just cosmetically, I would put glass at the top to kind of break up the look of it. That's what I would have done, but we're not doing that. You know why? Because we don't need to. We don't need to. So there we go. So we got a little hanging thing just for the power. Power's looking beautiful. By the way, we could do a redundant connection too, by the way. You want to do a redundant connection like that and just kind of double feed. So you got it feeding along the outside and feeding on the inside. Or what we can do is just say, you know what? Let's just really make this beautiful and run that perfectly across like that and take all this out. That's right. We don't even need this now. We don't even need that. Kismet's walking you down the road, everybody. I'm walking you down the road to beautiful, beautiful power, beautiful interiors, and making your overall base wonderful. Now, I like to raise stuff up off the ground. As you can see, I've got these like this. But normally I take the bottom ones out. And then you've got it lifted up off the ground. Very easy to get under here and to work and do whatever you need to do. And then usually here, same thing, I'll lift it on the other side. So you get there. Now, when you're doing this kind of production, though, it doesn't necessarily need to be up off the ground. This production is really, really simple. And it's also at the lower level. So I feel like, you know what? It's nice, but we're going to take it out. And again, I like to lift stuff up off the ground. But this is our raw ore here. How often are you actually going to come over here? Not really that often, I find. So let's just take that out. And we're going to do the reverse of what I talked about last time. We're going to do non-vertical. Hold down control here. Get those three. We're going to actually bring this down to a lower level to make it less complex. Right? What we want to do is just reduce the complexity of what we have running, right? And so by reducing the complexity and doing what's known as inline running, and we're doing a lot of inline running right now, it's kind of more advanced way of doing it. And that's where we go ahead and we take the resources and we run them, we split them and we run them down the line here. Now, to get this to run properly, I need to input from this side, or I can input from the other side. Doesn't really matter. It's up to you. It's your base. You do whatever you want to do. In this case, I'm going to do it from this side only because I feel like I can just go ahead and just perfectly run that in, and then run that in over there, and then it's going to run inline there. Now, you just got to pick a direction, and once you pick that direction, that's your direction. I've got these a little close. I don't like mine to be so close. I mean, it's more efficient for it to be close, but not always necessary. I like to be just a little bit out. And this way I can see if it's working. I like to be able to visually just give it a one look and see if everything's working properly and so on. So let's make a nice inline here. If we press the right button at the right time. There we go. Pressed it just as I accidentally moved it. I'll take that top conveyor out. Again, this is what's known as an inline, right? Real easy. Now, these only feed in at 40. So, again, very easy to know how we're going to split, right? Just our conveyor level ones. Our cheap stuff. Easy peasy. Now, coming out of there, is going to come out of here at 240. Right? 240 coming out of there. So we got to use our faster belts. Our 7 belts. We got a lot of this. We made a lot of steel. So screw it. Why even worry about it? Why even worry about it? Just do it at its fastest level. Don't even think about it. No math to be done. You don't have to do 60s and 20s and 120s and all of that. Forget the math. Screw the math. Just do it. If you do it in line, you're not doing any math at all. You're just running it all the same speed. Even though it doesn't, it's kind of redundant when it gets to the end because this is only going to be about 40 left at the end. By the way, the last one is also redundant. Make sure to take that one out like this because there's no reason to just split it once. That's a waste of your resources. And also at the end, by the way, it's only going to be running at its slowest speed. So we're going to line this up 1, 2 back. We're going to hit that and then make that nice. Beautiful 90-degree curve. Look at that baby. Mwah! She's beautiful. She's a beautiful, sexy beast. Now, we're going to do something else fun over here, everybody. We're going to do a little bit of wall stuff. Let's do a little bit of that. I don't really do this that much. I've tinkered around with it. But recently, we have discovered the wonderful wall running, right? So we're going to run a bunch of stuff through the wall. And we're going to go ahead and just do a bit of our wall stuff here. I feel like I started over here. So what we're going to do is we're going to go to walls, if I press the right buttons here, and we're going to say this is the outside wall. Yeah, we'll say that's outside wall. And then it doesn't really matter. It's just cosmetic. And then we'll do that. And then what we're going to do is we're going to grab the original stuff here and we're going to run it up into there. So that is going to be the extent of our thing. Instead of running all that other structure that we did before, we're going to do this instead. But you know what would be even cooler than that? You know what? I don't want that. I want that. Where not only is it going up in there, but it's also turning at the same time. Turning toward our production. So bam, now it's right there. And then we fooled around with these last time. Oh, we got a battle to do too. We're going to do a battle here in a second. We fooled around with these last time, and they are these conveyor wall mounts. And that's going to allow me to mount it so I can run it way up here out of the way. And then we're not going to have it on the ground level anyway. The only thing we have at the ground level is going to be our splitters and mergers, right? So yeah, see? There's always another way of doing the thing. And I feel like this is when it really starts getting fun, everybody. I'm going to try to get that bracket to be right there. There we go. It should be at the bottom of that top wall foundation. That should match up beautifully. And so when we turn that corner, look at that. Beautiful 90 degree. Well, not perfectly 90, but it's very nice nonetheless. Now, we don't have to put one each in everything unless you want to. That's the, it's your factory. You do whatever you want to do. But we can just do this, and then we can do something like that. And now we're good. And we bring this beautifully along the wall over to here, and then turn, and in you go. Look at that. See, it's still vertical, but now we're not using our lifters and all of that. We're using our wall conveyors. Isn't that awesome? Let me see some ones in the chat if you guys like that, and if you guys enjoyed that as well. Let's do our battle, everybody. I want to keep these battles going. I want you guys to get some loot. Let's do it. To battle! If you guys enjoyed that, put a 1 in the chat. I do appreciate it. If you really enjoyed it, hit that follow button. And thank you, Kellamall, for that 5 biddies. And Turtle Nip coming in, dropping that Dragon Hammer. Crushing that follow button, becoming part of the Teamwork Tycoons. Just like Wolfcrafter and Z-Dub. We also got John coming in, showing some love. We got Lord 44483 with some cheering earlier. Thank you so much for that as well. We got Justice V Extreme. Oh, cool name. IR Rolex coming in as well, all earlier. Thank you so much, everybody. Sometimes I do get sidetracked or whatever, but I always circle around and say thanks to all of you for being here in my stream. Let's do it. Where's the battle at? Norbert, get in there. Get some heals in, bro. Heal those peeps. What are you doing, Norbert? What? Oh, these people need some heals. All right, watch Norbert do his thing. Oh, look at that. Look at those glowing wings. That's an epic skin right there. You gotta get the Norbert skin. You gotta get it. You gotta get it. You go in there and search for Kismet. You can get yourself a Norbert healer skin. Or you can get the Wasteland Tycoon tank, which is pretty epic. Of course, the more skins that we do unlock up here, the more skins you guys purchase to help support the stream, the closer we are to getting a brand new skin, a full skin as well. Pretty awesome. All right, grant those rewards going out to Playa, getting some extra love. And March Fu coming in MVP. Nice job. I was choking there for a second. Nice job. Let's see. Up here, over there. Let's go right to there. Let's see. Ooh, get the Wasteland Tycoon out here. Ooh, we're going to get it right here. Right here. There we go. Get my tanky tank out there. We solo won that one before. Oh, lots of ones in the chat. So, yeah. Look how beautiful that is, everybody. Look how much cleaner that is. How much that looks nicer. I really, really like it. Now, just to kind of finish this out, and you knew I was going to do this, let's just go in and finish out our wall. You're like, Kismet, why didn't you just build the wall in the first place? Because I was walking you down the road. And what I mean by walking you down the road was I do it in little parts. And when you break something down that seems complex into smaller parts, it actually is easier for people to understand. Now, actually, that one is going the wrong way. Hold on. Hold on. Red alert. Whoop, whoop, whoop. I've got that turned the wrong way, and you know I'm going to fix it. You know I'm going to go in there and flip that around the right way. How do I know it was the wrong way? Well, because of the edges were flush against this stuff, and it should look like that. And this side should be flush like that. Easy. Easy, easy. All right, so again, that's coming out at 240, really 270 because that's the speed of the belt. But the actual output is 240. And there we go. So there we are, nice and clean, all in line. Look at it coming in, feeding it in little by little. Now make sure that you look. This is why I have this out a little bit so I can look and see that it is all feeding in there properly and coming in at the end there. Very nice. Now, you could probably guess what I'm going to do on the other side over here. You're like, Kismet, I'm a genius. I know exactly what you're going to do. You've got it all figured out, do you? Let's do it. And that's typically how I do. Those are centerline mergers. And they're nice, but they take up more space, and they're not as beautiful as inlines. Now, I could go either way. I could merge it that direction and then up, or this direction and up. Now, that is actually going to be all determined on how I want it to end up above. So you got to kind of think it out ahead of time. Like this one over here, I knew I was going to run that out there and then run it back that way. But where am I going to run all of this concrete? Right? Am I going to create a whole bunch more production up above? Well, guess what? Let's go take a look. And this is why we put our transport in. So we can just walk in here and bada bing, bada boom. Up we go. Look at that beautiful outside wiring. Look at that beautiful outside wiring, everybody. I know. I know it's awesome. And we also put one on the inside so that we can connect that into the rest of our power. And our power is actually going to feed. There it is. You can see it's nice and clear right there. Oh, it's time for a break too. Right there, you can see my power down there. We unlocked a nice thing down there as well. But we got our power down there. We're going to run it all the way up. And it's going to end up here. See, we're kind of above the fog up here. So you go down there, you're more in the fog. So there we go. We're actually going to run that power properly, and we're going to build like proper roads, and we're going to make it all nice, and so on and so forth. And put that all at that level. We'll cut down all those trees, and we'll put foundations and all of that stuff to make it look awesome. To make it awesome, shosh. We'll do all that later. And we're going to work with all of that. We're going to revamp all of that. We got so much to do, but we got like 30 minutes left. We got to hurry up. Okay, so how do I want my stuff to end up here? Now, in the long run, what I wanted to do is to come up and run along this line right here and end up over there in those boxes up above. Now, there's 3 boxes at the lower part, and there's 1 box up above. So that's 4 boxes full of backlog of that. Now, here's the cool thing. Now, once I run it up to there and I run it over here, I have another output in our thing here. So if I say, you know what, I need some of this concrete and I need to run it to a separate part of my factory to make other things. What do we make concrete out of? Well, hey, let's take a look. All right, we can go in and make what I call a little play yard. Where we just put this in. Now, I can also, by the way, I can also just hit X and we can go in here. I like to put the thing down. I don't know, it's just my way of doing it. But what uses concrete? What are we going to make that uses concrete? Well, I can tell you it's nothing in here. We're going to get rid of that. Nothing in there. Jimmo coming in with a 2 months of sub love. Blow it up in the chat, everybody. He's getting some love from JC Hunter right now. Gifting that sub love over to you, Jeff. Thanks so much for coming in and hanging out. Appreciate you, Jimbo, hanging out here in the stream. All right, so what takes it? Oh, encased industrial beam, the very thing that we have a shortage of right now that we need to make a whole bunch of production to make run. Now, we can also just intercept it early. So when we're bringing it up to this level from down below, right, we can just go ahead and intercept it earlier and before we run it down the line or during we're running it down the line. So all the excess goes down the line and then whatever we need, we could go ahead and run to a different part of the factory right here. And that's why that's there. Now this wall is here for no reason. And that wall is there for no reason. So let's take that out. But as you can see, it's starting to shape up a bit. Big time. Now I like to have this ramp in here. This is my primary ramp that goes to my primary base. I would leave that in until the very last moment. And maybe even leave it in indefinitely. So that you'll have it in case your power kicks off. Now me, I've got the blade runners on, so even my power kicks off, I can get down, no problem. It's getting back up again with no power. That's tough. So I usually will leave that. And I'll have some sort of emergency entrance and exit, probably on the outside, right here. I'll build a ramp on the outside that will allow me to go on the outside there and come up. Whatnot, I could build a staircase. Maybe we'll build a staircase this time, right? Because they did add those cool foundation pieces that you can put in the middle of the staircase so you stop falling down all the time. Yeah, it happens to me too. All right, so we've already got this established as our primary line for our concrete. So we're going to work with that right here. And so if we want it to end up here, we need to, of course, bring it up from down below. And so we're going to take this out, and we're going to take a little peek. Oh, how convenient. There it is, right down below. And so this is going to tell us how we want to do it. Now, you can just do it however you want. Me, I want it to end up and look beautiful as well as be functional. So I want it to go ahead and come right up from here. And we're going to say this is the outer wall. And then we're going to go ahead and do the same thing we did on the other one. We're going to turn it like that. And we're going to go ahead and very easily connect these. Now make sure that we're connecting it at our fastest speed, because then we don't have to worry about the numbers. What do we care? We don't care about no stinking numbers. We got tons and tons of resources. There we go. So that is now running up into there. Always reconnect this. Always reconnect that so you know that that's going to work. A lot of times, if you leave that in and connect stuff around it, then this stops working, and then you're like, oh, what the heck? Where's all my concrete at? That's because this thing got screwed up. Your lifter got screwed up. So keep that in mind. So that makes it pretty obvious in what direction we're going to go, right? I mean, oh, God, Kismet, oh, God. Okay, I'm fine. That makes it pretty obvious that I want to go this way, and then finish up at the end here, and then end up in there. So that's why I went ahead and I thought at the end. Now, when you start from the end, now I've been a graphic designer for 30 years. When you start from the end, you can see that it just tumbles all the other things in place, right? If you start at the end, where do I want to run this? I want to run this along that wall. Where is it going to run from that wall? It's going to run up into the box. And that's going to be its final destination is the box for right now, right? And so it's going to backlog that box. So that's its final destination. Let's work back. Okay, well, I want to build a wall here. Okay, now we got a wall. And then what do I want to do? I want to connect it from down below. And then I want to run in what direction? I want to run it this way, so it goes up to there, right? So it helps you a lot when you work from the end and work your way backwards as well. That is the way to do it right. If you want to do something wrong about 50 times, start from the beginning and work your way forwards. That's how you do it wrong a lot. And sometimes you'll still do it wrong, even if you do it that way, but try not to. Try to make it a bit easier. Now, I'm using the first one, actually, to line up the rest of these, by the way. That first one we're going to be taking out. We've got our arrow. Oh, man, that's the second time I did. I did the same thing on the other side. Just when I was about to click it, I turned around there. There we go. Okay. And you could probably guess what we're going to do on this side. Coming out of here, 13. 13. There's no reason to waste our good stuff on that. Boom. Boom. That's why I make, earlier, for those of you who are watching before, multiple times, this is why I make so much steel parts. Steel parts is actually the better conveyor speed. It's actually, the third one, I find is easier to make than the second one. Because this one, you can just crank a ton of this stuff out, double it up, make thousands of it, versus this, which is a lot harder because you don't have enough power and things like that early game to make a lot of these things. Now, we'll make a ton of them eventually, don't worry. But I find this is actually easier. The actual level 3 belts is easier. And that's why I go for level 3 belts pretty quickly. And then we just use a lot of level 3 belts because, hey, we got tons of those resources laying around. And we're just going to, again, same thing. Don't worry about the math. Screw it. Screw it. No math today. We're not doing no math. We're just going to do it at a higher speed. There we go. Beautiful. And then output here. And then out of here, up into there. Now, again, we can make this beautiful if we want to. We can say, okay, hold on. We want to just do a little 90. And then we want to do a little this. Well, wait, hold on. We want a little more than 90. We want a 90-90, right? We want a 90-90. And you're like, what do you mean 90-90? Kismet, here's what you do. You run this out of here. You line it up. And then 1, 2. That's a 90 and a 90. Look at that. 90 coming out. 90 going in. Right? Again, that's just making it beautiful, everybody. It doesn't make it go any faster or any better than before. It's just making it look nice. And there it goes. There it goes, everybody, down the line. And guess what? We done. We done. Now, what we got here is we got a problem over here, though. We have a whole bunch of this stuff that we need to take upstairs because we're not going to use it right now. But actually, you know what? We'll leave it down here, actually, now that I think about it, because we're going to be working down there in a bit. Or actually, at least for a little bit. Okay, so we got this back here. And I'm going to put all my transports at the node so that it'd be pretty obvious that I go to that node. Now, you're like, well, Kismet, how are you going to get way over here? Well, one of the things that we could also do along here is they have the ability to go in and use our transport. And we also have hyper tube wall supports, which we're going to use, which is really cool. So that could take us there, or we could put it down in the lower level like this, but then we're going to be blocking our stuff. I love to have the hyper tubes up at a higher level. So we'll have them at a higher level, and those will literally take us all the way over there and then drop us off right here, right? Or what we can do is just put a hole in the wall as well, like we did before, right? So we can go in. I'm just going to use my setup, my keys down here. We can put a hole in the wall here. Now, it's not just vertical, everybody. Remember that. And we can put a hole in the wall there. But also, you can go horizontal. I can just run it along the wall like that. If I want to. I wouldn't run it that low, though. Because that's definitely going to be in the way. Now, watch the difference, everybody. Watch the difference when I do this. And then when I go in and I hit R to toggle my vertical mode. Let's see if you can see the subtlety. That is the different modes, right? What's different about this mode versus us doing it in vertical mode? Can you see any difference? That's because there is no difference. It's such a trolling, you guys. It's exactly the same when you're doing it horizontally. When you're doing it horizontally, it's exactly the same. You're fine. It'll be fine. All right, let's take that out of there. Now, you know, by the way, if we took that hypertube, it would launch us down below. It would have hit it right here, and we would have fell down there. But you get the general idea. I could go ahead and just run it along the edge, just using the holes, which I find very useful. So we can use the wall while we're going down the wall, and then when we get the last one, we can just go through the hole, and it'll end us up down here. Now let's go ahead and clean up this end part here a bit, square it out a bit. All right, that's looking nice. Look at it go down the conveyor. Beautiful, beautiful. Now this conveyor right here is just a Mark 1 while we were testing, but let's give it a lot of love right now. We're going to give it some love. Let's do it. Oh, let's get on our conveyors. And now this baby going to be going a whole lot faster. You're like, well, Kismet, you're not putting it at the exact speed at which that belt should be. You don't have to always do that, everybody. Now, here's the thing. When I'm running resources into a box like this, I run it at the maximum speed. And the same thing with my lifters. You'll notice that the lifters here are currently number 1. We're going to go through and we're going to upgrade our lifters. Now they're level 3. Level 3. And level 3. Because I want them to go as fast as I possibly can. When I get into the higher end belts, guess what I'm going to do? I'm going to come back. I'm going to upgrade all those, especially going in between the boxes, right? Make sure that's at maximum speed because it's going to be feeding it up to where you are instead of you coming down to get it. So you want to fill up those boxes as quick as possible. So whenever you take anything out, you go do something, you come back. Say you take everything out of that top box, right? You take all the concrete out because you're going to go build a big thing. You take all the concrete out, you go build the thing, you come back, and then there's only 2 stacks there. Now, you want it to be filling that box. By the time you come back, boom, the whole entire box filled up. And there it goes, everybody. Now it is running full speed. Now, here's the thing. Eventually, this is actually going to start to gap a little bit. you're going to see a little gap in between there. Why? Because this is a 270 belt, and that's a 240 output, right? And it's actually not even 240. It's not even that 240 because there's a bunch of backlog in there right now. Let's take this out so I don't actually think that's a hypertube. And you're like, well, Kismet, what are you talking about? Well, let's go take a look at it over here. Right into that wall. Take that wall out. Try it again. See, the second I came in there and I saw I hit that wall, I knew I wanted to take it out. Hitting that top edge of the wall. Hitting that top edge of the wall. But that's okay, because I want to be able to see into the factory. So we'll make it a double wide there. So yeah, we'll come out of there, and then we got this going. So how much is this producing? All right, this is 13. 13 times how many? We got 6, right? Hey, Suri, what's 13 times 6?
13 times 6 is 78.
78. So this is actually going at 78 right now. And you're like, well, Kismet, what the heck? Why is it not gapping? Why is it so close together? And that's because I have a backlog across all of this, right? The output of this has a backlog. Now, I could make it go as fast as I possibly want it to go, and it could lickety-split out of there, right? Bada bing, bada boom. And this could be all going, look, there it starts to gap. See, it's starting to gap? I can make it go a lot faster if I wanted to, right? Now, another thing also, by the way, is taking this out right here. I forgot to do this. This is redundant. There's no reason to have a merger at the very beginning. So we'll come out. 1, 2 back. Make that nice 90. That's redundant. There's no reason to have that extra merger there because it's only doing a single side merge. It's basically splitting once or merging once. There's no reason to merge once. Just do the thing. But you'll start to see that it'll start to gap. There we go. Now it's starting to gap at that 13% because the output has now emptied. And the same thing here. There we go. And now it'll start to gap. And then also it'll start to gap at the end here too. But it's getting from here to my base as fast as it possibly can once it's out of that particular thing. And again, I'm making so much of this now that I could literally just come in here and upgrade all the belts to tier 3. And you will have so much steel that you're better off than using your 120s. You're actually better off using a level 3 because it's just easier to produce that particular resource than it is to do the other resource, which takes a lot more. Now, these are also underclocked, by the way. Like 13 is a weird number, Kismet. Yeah, that's because I underclocked it to 89%. Why did I do that? Because my input is only 40 on each one. So there's no reason to have it at 45 and have it using that extra power. I'm saving 0.7 power on each and every one. So let's just round it up to 1. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 megawatts. And that adds up over the life of your factory. All those little megawatts add up to more of your time, adding more and more power to your overall base, especially in the beginning when you're hurting for that, right? You've got that perpetual power finally going, but you keep maxing out your power all the time. Now, the way to tell what your power is doing is to actually bring a power pole down. I just have one sitting around somewhere where you can just go ahead and access it, and you can see where your power is at. I have 900 megawatts running right now. I'm currently using, let's say, 350 in the peak times, if everything was running right now. And look how clean that is, though. See, the thing is, it's so beautifully clean, really easy. Don't need all the lifters, don't need all that stuff. Really clean on the way in, really clean on the way out. Uses the minimum amount of space as well. These actually, I think, have a gap. I have a little bit of a gap right here. I like to have a gap through the middle, typically when I'm doing centerline splitting. But if I'm not doing centerline splitting, I'll put them all together. No biggie. No biggie, because you can still get in between there, especially you have the skates where you can jump really high. Even if they are right next to each other. Do a little jump over. You're good. You can't walk forward, though. You will actually run into those. If you try to walk, we'll run into them. But if you got the skates, you can jump over. You're good. Okay, so all of that is good, and now it is running at full efficiency. So it's about 80, right? So, but 80 is faster than 60, so you gotta increase the speed. But this is unnecessary to run that at top speed out there. But eventually you're going to have so much extra resources that you could run all of this at the same speed. Now we got about 10 more minutes, so we're going to go ahead and finish this up here. Let's go ahead and fill in this wall on this side. Nice. Okay. And let's see. Let's go ahead and make... Start over here. Now what I'm going to do is put one down temporarily. And that's going to allow me to put the one up above it. And so I'm going to put the one up above it all the way across. Again, this is where I would work in. Right here, I would put glass in. Reason why is so I could see the rest of my factory. But again, we're just doing some really hardcore actual factory building versus just the machinery. We're really building it out. It's not necessary. You don't have to. I could just build just the stuff, and I've done it many a time. But in this time, I feel like we're going to get it going on. And I feel like we'll go ahead and put a nice wall there. And then this is probably a good support beam there. Create a little edge, right? So we have a little double entrance here. We can go ahead and access that side. And then we'll have a double there and a double there. This is all cosmetic, by the way, everybody. It doesn't really matter. This is all cosmetic what I'm doing now. Just making it look nice. So when we're down here and we look up at it, has the 3 little gaps there. I could also make those primary roads. Like this one, I would make a primary road right through there. And so on. Now over here, probably not so much. This is just so I can run up here into my factory. But our primary road should run along here. Now I can go get some stuff to color that in. I think that'd probably be a good thing to do here real quick so that we don't forget about our primary roads. Oh, you know what I could do? I could put the transport on the outside of that. On this side. Ooh, I kind of like that. Yeah, and then I can have it at that second level. Right there. Yeah. When I gotta watch out though, when it shoots me out of there, I don't want to end up falling in there. Let's go ahead and line up off this support here. Then we're going to grab this. And that's going that way, so we'll finish this outwards. Now this is more like something you do at the end. It's called finishing, where you finish this all off so you can't even see it and whatnot. Me, I always want to be able to see in there. So I'll usually have it open to make sure that it's working. That'd be another great use of glass right there. Is have at least one area with glass so you can see in there and see if it's working. Whatnot. There's our hypertube there. Yeah, that's what I'm talking about. I wonder if I can run this. Does it automatically attach it to the wall? Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. Wouldn't that be awesome if it automatically detected if it was a wall there and then like when you roll over the wall it didn't put the wall thing? That would be awesome. That would be awesome, but it doesn't. So what do we need to do? We need to go in here. We need to add... Stop doing that. Get to the coffee cup. There we go. Let's go ahead and add this to our set. That's what I'm trying to do. Let's add this as number 7. Number 7. There we go. Okay, now the first thing I want to do is grab this and see how far I can send this across here. All the way to right about there. So that's all I need to do. Just go over here. Add a wall support. Say about mid-wall. Yeah, conveyors on one side, transport on the other. Nice. Like it, like it. All right, and then we're going to go ahead and put we're out again. We're out again, everybody. Oh, this is so tough being Kismet. There's so many craft benches everywhere. I feel like I just want to put my craft benches along my road here. All right, we got to get our road thing, too. Make some more of these babies. We're going to get this production going. Don't worry, we'll get it going. We're just retooling all of our base production right now. and our transport and getting from place to A to Z and whatnot. And I feel like you want to have it right off the side of your roads, all your transport, like that. Now you probably guessed what I'm about to do, and I'm going to go ahead and just take this up a notch. And that's right, I'm going to put in some sweet wall power. Sweet, sweet. I'm going to put it right over here so I can see it from this side. Let's see, where's this ending here? Let's say, right. Do I like it there? I'm trying to decide whether I like it there or not. Let's go with it. Let's go with it. And then this one we want to connect from this side because it's going to be hanging from the wall like that. Very nice. And then we want to actually run the power itself because now we've established where our power is going to be. It's going to be right there. And so we can go ahead and take this and we can run this way down here. Now we don't know how far we can go with our power. So we're going to go ahead and just run this as a pole. And there it is. It says wire too long. So right about here. Now I could have counted. It's about 12 of those, but I can just run a power pole, and that gives me a general idea. And then we're going to double wall outlet here. I'm just going to double wall outlet all the way down. This will be my central wall, which will be powering both sides of the factory. So I'm just going to go right there, then take this out. Now watch how far we can run this, everybody. It's so cool, and how far I can actually get the thing. From way down there. From way down there, I can tag it and then tag it there. Look at that. Look how much nicer that power is, right? Running just above this particular conveyor. Now, of course, we're going to want other conveyors and whatnot, but then again, those particular conveyors and those particular items are going to be built here. And the items that are going to go in this side, right here, are going to be built here. And the side, this one here is going to actually be built back on that side and run around and end up in here. This stuff here is going to be built out here, and so on and so forth and whatnot. This was just us testing stuff like that. Very nice. Okay, we can take all these things out now. We're testing all of that. Let's clean this up a little bit. How are we doing on time? All right. Now what I'm going to do is we're going to keep playing a bit of Satisfactory while we're kind of trying to log in to New World. And once we log into it and everything's working, we're able to do the player character and all that stuff, then we will go ahead and switch over to that. But I find in every launch of every MMO have ever been made ever, you know it's going to have issues. Oh, we got to go upstairs. Hold on. Let's go upstairs. Let's get our upstairs transport back in as well. Kind of feel like right there would be a good spot. Yeah. Come out right there. Oh man, decisions. Figure out the logistics of how you want your transport to be. See, I'm going to have this conveyor in the way, so I can't do it along the back that way. Can you make wall, this dawned on me. I wonder if you could take, I've never tried this before. Can we take wall conveyors, click it once and pull it out? Oh man. You know on conveyors where you can go and you can put a conveyor down. So you're going to put it down like this. You can click and then you can adjust the height, right? That would be awesome with the width of this. Like you click on it and then you could drag it and make it wider, right? You can drag it outwards so it's at different kind of click levels of outwards. Talking to you guys, Coffee Stain. So that would be awesome if you could telescope your wall hangings ones. I'm sure they've already thought of it, but just in case, there's another suggestion for you. All right, let's keep this battle going. These battles always coincide right at the perfect times. Well, at least I try to make them perfect times. All right, we got to figure out how we're going to get up to the top of our base. While you guys are doing that battle list, I'm going to run up there and take a look. All right. Another win. Open capture chest. Slide that guy. Or don't need to slide. It's already slid. Kellen Mall getting some extra love. And Blauhorn. Overall MVP. Oh, it's time, everybody. It's time to check it out. See if it's going to run today. I say we go for this green one. Which decisions? I'll go with this top one. I don't know. I feel like doing that one. All right, let's get Norbert out. Norbert's going to do some sweet, sweet healing. I say we get down here in the corner. Get clustered up together. Everybody cluster around my healer, Norbert. We're going to go wipe some peeps out. They're going to span randomly anyway. All right, everybody. So what we're going to do is, by the way, you can run a Satisfactory in the background. How do I know? One time I ran it for like 10 hours in the background while we were playing Fallout 76. I know. It was cool, right? It was cool. Let's see. I need to press a button over here. Boop. There we go. Bring that up for a second while I go ahead and press some buttons and flip some switches. Now, that's going to go ahead and run in the background. And I'm going to fire up New World. And we're going to see if New World lets me run it. Now, I'm going to be running this on the PC. And this is a sponsored event. They did send me a code to check it out. I always disclose that every single time. I always disclose any sponsored stuff here in the stream, whatnot. All right, let's see if it's got an update. Launch game as soon as it's ready. Yes, it's updating. View updates. Let's see. Now, see, I'm a stickler for time. Yes, it is downloading right now. See, that's why we do that. That's why I do that. Okay, well, that's downloading in the background. Guess what we're going to do? We're going to play some more Satisfactory. Let's get into it. Now, I had an idea. You know what I want to do is I want to have my transport right along the road here. So whatever's right there, which happens to be my transport right now, look at that. Oh, my goodness, am I good at what I do or what? That's actually where my transport was before, except for now, it's going to be along this wall, and it's going to put me out right here in my main thoroughfare. Now, one of the things that I did do is I did add an extra one there, so it's actually going to leave me an extra one, and this actually is going to move over. You're like, well, Kismet, how do you take out the color once you've colored it in? Oh, I'll show you. It's really hard. What you do is you hold down Control, you take this out, and then you put it back in again, and now they're not colored anymore. Simple as that. Easy. Easy. Because this is going to be my main road right through there. Very nice. Now, I want to have a little bit of an offset from my main road. I like to have a little bit of offset. That's just me whenever I'm doing my transport. So we'll go ahead and make this vertical transport like that. Then we can come down. We can jump on this. We want to go that way. We can put another one. We want to go that way. And so on and so forth. I feel like this other one's going to need to go up and over. And then back down. And then across. That's going to be fun to do. That's going to be real fun to tie all that in. All right, what else are we doing here? We're revamping the way we got our power run. We were putting that in. We're doing our vertical entrance is what we're doing. Not wall support. We need hypertube entrance right there. And then we'll grab our walls. Double wall up, and no, it's not entrance, by the way. That's a wall hole. Wall hole up there. Bring that down. Got a nice vertical mode, very nice. And then we'll go ahead and put in our entrances. Now we got some power right here, so we'll just go ahead and run that power right over there. Very nice. Okay. Now we need to tie all this power in, though. Because all of this power that we have running back behind here is not tied in to the rest. Right to there. Very nice. And do I want to build in the rest of this? Yeah, I feel like we'll fill it in. Fill it in a bit. Or no? Not sure whether I want to fill that in or not. I might do a bit of overlapping here. You know what? Let's you know, I can always take it out later. Let's just do it right. hear you somewhere. Big beastie. That's kind of really fun, by the way. Ooh, it's working! Hold on! I hear it in the background. Connection failed. Retry, yes. You're like, Kismet, what's up, bro? What are you doing? We're going to try some New World. We're going to try some MMO action. They've got a preview going for about a week. So we're going to check it out. We're going to see what it's all about. Boom. Right here. Now, before we get into that, though, we'll come back to that in just a second. Let me go ahead and quit out of there. Make sure you take a break soon. Oh, yeah, I forgot. I forgot to take my break. Yeah, I'm going to take my break in between this. Thanks for the reminder. Continue. Now, you're not going to see any of this yet. Don't worry. We're definitely going to have to get rid of that music. This whole part of the stream is going to get cut out. I can tell you that already. Because we're going to have to go in there and do it. All right, so let's go ahead and finish up with what we're doing here in Satisfactory. So we're building out the rest of that. We're running some power. Now, we've got some power over there. Let's finish this up. I'll take a quick break, then we'll get into it. So it's firing up right now, everybody. Firing up. And let's see. Dual connector way at the end here. Double wall connector. Right there. And then run that to there. And that. There we go. Now our stuff way at the end there is now working. And let's get this finished over here. Yeah, I feel like this will come in and go up and over and then end up at the end. But for right now, let's just run it there. We'll figure all the logistics of that later. Oh, I love the hanging wall thing. Love that. And then we should be able to go up above. Nice. Like it. Then we have to rework all of our power and stuff up here as well. But let's just go. Oh, we don't have enough to put an entrance in there. But all right, we'll go ahead and leave it as that. Let's go ahead and see if we at least got one of these working today. Let's take a look. Ah, look at it filling up my box full of sweet, sweet resources. Yes, multi-tiering our base, creating multiple levels. Ah, awesome. Awesome, awesome, awesome. Man, see, this is the type of game I just want to spend endless hours playing. It is so incredibly fun. All right. Retool. Readjust power lines. All right, now, I actually try to put myself a reminder in there in case I forget of what I need to work on in the morning. So we'll be back 9 a.m. Eastern Standard Time playing some more of Satisfactory. Now what we're going to do for right now is we're going to let you guys just kind of watch my factory run for a minute here. Oh, I forgot to put my entrance in there, and I can't put it in there because I got to make some of these things real quick here. That's what I was going to do. Okay. Now, the interesting thing is that the bulk of the top part of my factory here is not doing anything. It's all stopped. And the reason why it stopped is because I was off doing other stuff, doing thingy things from over there. Now, why is this stopped? Most likely this is stopped because the box is full. See, like I said, look at how much of those we got, right? So I will watch it do a little bit more production. You can never have too many of these, believe me. I'm going to burn these up like nobody's business. So let's go in and just let it... Oh, I put it the wrong way. I knew I was going to. Let's put this the proper direction. There we go. And we'll have it at its maximum speed that I have for right now. And once that starts going in there, now the rest of my factory is going to be firing up. Now on the other side, I have this going completely the other direction and so on. And running over here. And you're like, well, Kismet, you're running raw ore here, you're running coal. Yeah, that's because this right here is the exception to that rule. I typically keep a lot of this going on this side as well. Let's see, we need iron ore. See, we're at iron ore there. See, this one over here has a little bit of iron ore left inside, I'm sure. Yeah, see, that's why that started up. Yeah, we gotta retool our iron ore. And we're not gonna even bother converting one of these into ignis. We're gonna bring the actual raw iron ore up on this particular case. On this particular one over here. That's why one of these down there, I can't see it from here, one of these down below is actually going to be used just for raw ore. Bring it up to here. All right, so we'll leave that as is, and you know what, we'll just save it. I'll just take a break. How about that? Let's save it again. Work on those power lines. We'll retool all of this. Man, it's so fun. This game is, you just want to play for endless amount of hours, like 50,000 hours for sure. For sure. Okay, so I got to get up. I got to take a quick break. I really have nothing to show you up here. I guess you could watch my concrete run, all that hard work we did on the concrete. That's a death right there. That's a death. Even though I do have my skates on, that's a pretty close to a death. That's a death down there. Why am I trying to jump down? I got a thing right over here. I can just walk over there. Would be great to be able to label it, too. All right, you guys can watch this run. This will be fun. I wonder if we're going to put one of those things in here. I wonder if it's too big. Let's find out. Nice little lookout tower. Oh, let me take this out here. Lookout tower. Yeah, I think it might be too tall. Yeah, I thought it'd be too tall. Okay, how's another way we could do it? Here's another little trick. Use our stackables. Oh yeah, there we go. Hey, there's something to watch right there. Look at that. Isn't that a thing of beauty? Isn't it? It's so refined and it's so down to its most basic elements. And it's up off the ground. You're not running spaghetti everywhere. You're doing a nice inline run where it's just feeding all of it in there perfectly. It's just such a wonderful thing when you get to this stage of the game. Now, I could, you know, back-to-back these and make them all perfect and make them all run into each other and all of that. Which we'll do eventually, by the way. I'll actually have these facing each other, and then I'll have the inputs on both sides, and they'll be facing each other, and then the outputs will go in the same direction, and so on. Like I'll feed it along the back wall, and then feed it to these, and then these will all feed back the other way and end up in a single run, and that single run will go up above and be a thing of beauty. All right, quick break. Then we're going to try this new MMO called New World. We're going to test it out. Hopefully, it's awesome. We'll see. I'm going to be right back. I'm going to go Stealth Boy. Told you I'd be right back. All right, let's get to it. Hey everybody, Kismet here. Thank you so much for watching this video. Make sure to hit that subscribe button right in the center of the screen. Also check me out live on twitch.tv/Kismet. I'll see you all next time.